Happy Tuesday. It's time for Coffee and Cursey Words. The amount of tech things that have happened this morning. It's just absolutely ridiculous, but it's just us. So good morning, good morning, good morning. Let me know where you're coming in from, what you're drinking. I've got a big old mega pint of bulletproof coffee, which is so very needed this morning. I'll tell you what, I flew back to Middle Tennessee yesterday morning. Your girl is a little tired. That's okay. We have lots to talk about today. I'm going to do our quicker topic and then our Britney topic, and then get into questions the way we normally do on Coffee and Cursey Words. I know a lot of you found me while we were doing the Depp trial, and things are in a little different way than they are doing this. So we're just going to roll. Thank you for coming in. And for those of you that it's your first time live, I'm seeing some of you saying it's your first live. Welcome. Oh, Netherlands hot cocoa and cookies sounds delicious. All right, let's roll the intro. We got some things to talk about, and then we're going to start getting back into our regular topics as much as we can and weaving in the stuff that's still happening with the Depp case, because of course it is. Hey there. If we haven't met yet, I'm Emily D. Baker, the badass lawyer and everyone's favorite legal commentator. I'm the host of The Emily Show, and I break down the legal shit behind the news and pop culture stories we all want to talk about. I have been a licensed attorney for over 15 years, but this is not legal advice. I should warn you, I'm a big fan of the Cursey Words. This channel is where the law nerds unite to talk about facts, not fuckery. I mean, first things first, there is nothing new that's been filed in the Depp case. So no new documents, no new filings, nothing like that. So we will get to those when they're filed. What I anticipate in that case, before we get on to a few other things, is that there should be a motion to set aside the verdict. That's pretty standard. It happens in a lot of cases. It will likely happen before we'll see notice of appeal filed. And then once you get notice of appeal, you'll have quite a while before we get the appeal filed. I think the appeal filed is the appeal filed in the Tasha K. Cardi B case should be to the appellate court pretty soon. So we're going to be looking into that appeal and seeing what they are appealing. We already kind of know from Elaine Bredehoft's statements on the media, and we'll take a look at those. And I do know that Ben Chu is going to be having an interview with Court TV. So that will be interesting to see as well. So with questions, you guys, we will absolutely get to questions at the end. But Trinity, do I think Judge P or Judge A will confront Elaine about her BS at the June hearing? No, I don't think she will. I think that's one of those things where the court's just going to be like, it's noted, but also it's part of the job. And you have to be mindful to not burn the judge in the things that you say, but they're doing their PR spin as part of their thing. So hope you're okay. I'm tired because I'm old, but I'm good. Like, I'm great. I'm just tired. I'll tell you that story later. We've got lots to cover. If there's time, we will get to stories. If not, we will talk all about that during our members only live stream. We've got a members only live stream coming up on Thursday evening. And then we have the Patreon members, excuse me. Sorry, I've been yelling all weekend and not talking normally. The Patreon Q&A for hitting our Patreon number is going to be next week on Patreon. So I will post that there. And we've got a few more things that we're going to be talking about. So with that, we should get into, I know my voice is a little tired. My voice is a little tired. Why? Because I was at Dave Matthews this weekend. Look, it's little known fact that the Dave Matthews Band needs Emily D. Baker for backup when she appears at a concert. It's ingrained in my brain that is a need, and I cannot help myself. We eat, drink, and be merry, and we all sing together. Best venue I've been to in Charleston. Best venue I've been to. Had so much fun. Kaylin, thank you. Namaste to you as well. So you're not old. I mean, early 40s is pretty young. The thing is, though, in my brain, especially when I go concerting, in my brain, I think that I'm 20 and my body is like, girl, Who do you think you are? Getting up at 4 a.m. to get on a flight. You're ridiculous. Check yourself, please. Check yourself, please. So we are going to be covering all of the things. So let me get into the first story. I get Tech and I were talking, and she's like, "Do you have a quick bits?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm going to try to make them quick." But I do have a few quick bits. So we're going to do just a few quick bits because this one we've been needing to do. And everybody, yes, my mom and I were having this conversation not that long ago about the fact that in your brain, you're just like, hey, somewhere at 30, your brain just stops and you're just like, it's fine. It's fine. Going to see DMB on Friday. This will be my 11th show. Congratulations. Hold on. Let me see. I got to check my hub and see how many shows I'm at because I don't want to get it wrong because then I'll be very embarrassed and I'll be like, no, girl, you got it wrong. See, the thing is, I don't remember these things off the top of my head, but I know where I keep the information. So I'm going to go look at my personal statistics. 52. So I'll top out 54 shows this year by the time the summer is over, but this weekend was my 51st and 52nd Dave show. Yes, I'm that person. I started seeing Dave in 1996. It's fine. It's fine. It's what I enjoy doing. And there's nothing quite like it's like this chat, but in real life, where you get to be with people who enjoy the same music you do, get to chat with them about where they're from, where they're visiting from, what they love, the shows they've been to. And you just get to take a moment and be like, yes, let's just, see some live music under the stars, drink some drinks, people smoke the things, not as much in Charleston as in LA, but it's just a good time. And that is, I don't know. We need it. We need a good time. It's a nice way to decompress. And it was just, I don't know. It was lovely. All right. We've got some quick bits. They're mostly attorney quick bits. So you know what? I'm going to roll the intro. We're just going to do it. Miguelina, we're doing it. We're just doing the things. Quick bits. Story we've been following here on the channel since 2000. Emily, is your screen shared? Why would your screen be shared? Why would you be prepared and shit? Story we've been following since 2000. Tom Girardi is officially disbarred by the California Supreme Court. How many of you in the chat have been following the Girardi story? Because good God in heaven, this story is some of the craziest things we've seen. Oh, am I a groupie? I mean, I don't try to hang out with the band afterwards. Is this my favorite thing to do? Yes. It's kind of like following around a favorite sports team, right? It's like, I don't know, how many ice hockey games have you been to? How many football games? How many tennis? If you've been following the Girardi case, Tom Girardi has been disbarred in the federal courts ages ago. So in the federal courts, he was disbarred when he was put under the conservatorship. He was, hold on. Let's see if CalBar updated. He was suspended from practice. He was suspended from practice can I type and talk sometimes? He was suspended from practice in California because he was put under the conservatorship. So he was placed as not eligible to practice law based on that. So his status right now is, updated. Okay. I'm going to show you that in just a second. It's been updated. So he was ordered inactive because of the conservatorship. Then the state bar made all of the information. I see you guys talking about the microphone. I will see if that's on my end. We have weather going on here. It shouldn't be on my end, but we'll see if that fixes it. Sorry. I don't know why my mic is popping. Well, hopefully that fixes it. Professionals here. The fact that we didn't have more audio issues in this entire trial is just, is just. So also go ahead and refresh the feed. So with this, Tom Girardi is under a conservatorship because after all the shit hit the fan, his brother filed for a conservatorship. So let's take a look at this. After the shit hit the fan, he got placed in the conservatorship. The state bar made him ineligible to practice because of it. And then the state bar filed formal paperwork to have him disbarred. Not just, hey, you're ineligible, because they could have left him ineligible forever. Not just, hey, you're ineligible, but actually you are disbarred. They took it one step further. He was never going to practice again. I'm not done talking. He was never going to practice again. He's in a conservatorship. He's in his 80s with everything going on. It was clear he was never practicing. I think the state bar taking the final step to disbar him feels like too little too late. Should the state bar have taken action earlier? Probably. But is it something that is a finality and a ego crush? Yes. This is finally we're done. So we read through the disbarment action, and it had a number of his victims in it who had not gotten paid. So for those of you who are not following Tom Girardi, he is a disgraced former Los Angeles litigator. He was a plaintiff's litigator in the kind of mass tort realm. He, was kind of referenced in the Erin Brockovich case and turned that into his claim to fame. His wife, Erica Jane, is on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. But this is the largest legal scandal of our time. I have not seen anything bigger. And you know what? The Murdaugh case, speaking of being in the low country, the Murdaugh case is wild. But I still think that this is the biggest legal scandal of our time. I don't think we're going to see anything like this, hopefully ever, because it should never happen. Biggest legal scandal of our time. Tom Girardi, one of the nation's most revered personal injury lawyers, and this is coming from Brandon Lowry over at Law 360. I think Law 360 does a great job. I love that a lot of their writers are also attorneys, have just great takes on it. Brandon has been reporting on this case since I started covering it, I think. So I would guess late 2000s, early 2001, though I could be wrong. Brandon, if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be wrong. I will go search it back, but has been really covering all the different avenues on this case. How much did he steal? Right now in the bankruptcy, it looks like we're in the $400 million range. So I have tons of content on this. Thomas Girardi, one of the nation's most revered personal injury lawyers, before revelations in 2020 that he stole millions, hundreds of millions from client settlement, was disbarred Wednesday by the Supreme Court of California in a largely symbolic ruling. Totally agree. What date did this come out? June 1st. So where was I June 1st? Oh, we were doing verdict things June 1st. That's what we were doing June 1st. Girardi has practiced law in California since 1965 and went on to found the once bustling plaintiff's firm Girardi Keese in Los Angeles. He rocketed to national fame as one of the lawyers involved in the groundwater pollution case that resulted in a $333 million settlement and inspired the 2000s film Erin Brockovich. But in December 2020, a federal judge in Chicago found that he had stolen at least $2 million in settlements that he had negotiated for the widows and orphans of plane crash victims. This comes up very much in Real Housewives of Beverly Hills as well. Creditors soon forced Girardi and his firm into bankruptcy. This is a great summary. A bankruptcy trustee estimated he and his firm owe upwards of $100 million. I have seen numbers upwards of $400 million lately. While Wednesday's decision by the high court definitely ends Girardi's legal career, the state bar has already indefinitely suspended his license last year. So this is very much symbolic, but ego crush. It's the final nail in the legacy with that. Thomas Girardi has done significant and profound harm to many, and while his disbarment does not minimize the impacts, it is an acknowledgement that the people he victimized, said the bar's chief tribunal counsel, George Cardona. Look, he should have had repercussions against his license long before this. And that is part of the problem with this case, is that if the state bar had acted sooner, and there are investigations as to what happened, but if the state bar had acted sooner, would these later individuals not have been harmed in that way? And there are other reports that have come out that we are going to be covering on Friday, where there's much more Girardi stuff that has recently come out that we didn't cover because of the trial. So if you guys are like looking for a law scandal, we are scandalized. This is just wild. So the state bar is supposed to be the enforcement wing, but there is a great LA Times article and now other articles that go through the things he did to schmooze with the state bar. It's wild. I do have podcast content on the Murdaugh case. I have, I think, 2 or 3 podcast episodes. They're here on YouTube and on your favorite podcast player, Apple, Spotify, all the others, under the Murdaugh case, but we will be getting back into it because more has happened. So, Girardi's conservator did not immediately respond to the request for comment on Wednesday. The bar first filed disciplinary actions in March 2021. And then finally, in June 2022, he's been disbarred. Ugh. Like, you're told in law school, if you put 3 pennies out of place in a client trust account, you're going to be disbarred. You'll probably go to jail and you'll be like flogged in the streets and people are going to throw tomatoes at you and yell shame as you like walk naked. Wait, no, that was Game of Thrones, but similar. So the fact that we're going back and looking at this public, high profile attorney getting away with this for so many years it's just beyond grasping for me. On Wednesday, in addition to disbarring Girardi, the Supreme Court of California also ordered him to repay several former clients, including more than $2 million still owed to Indonesian families who lost loved ones in the Lion Air crash. Good luck with that. Where did the money go? One of those former clients, Bias Ramadan, told Law 360 on Wednesday that the court's order was far from satisfying. Yeah, it's just paper, and it's not worth much more than paper. It's way too late. The state bar has failed to do their job, he wrote in an email. To be honest, we have no idea when we will get paid fair, and I hope some people will be held responsible and go to jail. Unlikely, but possible. In the Los Angeles legal community, where Girardi had long been a seemingly omnipresent figure, sympathy for him was hard to find. The betrayal by a criminal like Tom Girardi, how he betrayed his clients, his oath of office, and the practice of law is a blight to all of us, said Douglas Silverstein, president of the Consumer Attorneys Associations of Los Angeles, where Girardi was once a member. Robert Simon, a trial attorney who had once clashed with Girardi, said the ex-lawyer's story brings to mind scenes from the final episode of the cable mobster drama The Sopranos, where the lead character is living in a perpetual dread of an ambush. Is this the life you want? He said, maybe a little more money in the short term to always be looking over your shoulder for what? Kimberly Archie. Hey, Kimberly Archie, a non-attorney sports liability expert who considered Girardi a friend and mentor before he stole millions from her best friend. By the way, her best friend is Joseph Ruigomez's mother, and she's friends with their family. He is one of the victims that is owed the most money, over $11 million owed to Ruigomez. So, a friend and mentor before he stole millions from her best friend, said in an email she could not muster up much excitement about the news of Girardi's disbarment. This is a tragic ending to a 56-year-long career and leaves no winners and only a trail of victims in its wake. I mean, because they can't give back the money. They can't give back the money. There's no money there to give back. And that's why they're in this massive bankruptcy. So as we get back into the bankruptcy and update what's going on, there's stuff going on Real Housewives. I'm not caught up at all. There's been stuff going on in the bankruptcy. We will get caught up on those in the weeks to come. But Tom Girardi finally disbarred. So from disgraced lawyer to rising star, let's get to our next topic. I've seen a lot of you chatting about this in the chat. Let's take a peek over at the Brown Rudnick firm website. Press release 6/7. Is that today? Yes, it is. Brown Rudnick elects Camille Vasquez to partnership. No shit they do. Of course they do. Good for them. I want to see a big picture of her right here. Big photo of Camille. Brown Rudnick, I don't know who's running your website. Big photo of Camille's face. Just put it right there. We want that. We want that there. Brown Rudnick is pleased to announce that Camille Vasquez has been elevated to partner. Vasquez joined Brown Rudnick's Orange County office in 2018 as an associate in the litigation and arbitration practice. She has more than 10 years experience as a trial lawyer in high-stakes disputes. It shows. The thing you can tell by a trial attorney is how they perform in trial. It shows. She has more than 10 years of experience as a trial lawyer in high-stakes disputes, including defamation cases, contract disputes, business-related torts, and employee-related claims. Vasquez was a key member of the litigation team that won a jury verdict on June 1st for actor Johnny Depp in his defamation trial against ex-wife Amber Heard. We're delighted to welcome Camille to the partnership, said William Bodiga. I'm going to get that wrong. Chairman and CEO of Brown Rudnick. Historically, we have reserved this announcement for the end of our fiscal year. Good call. Good call doing this now. Good call. Well timed, well played, good decision, well deserved. But Camille's performance during the Johnny Depp trial proved to the world that she was ready to take the next step. We are incredibly proud of her and look forward to what she will accomplish as our newest partner. Rainmaking. Camille's going to make it fucking rain, because there are going to be people who are like, I don't care what I need to do. I want Camille Vasquez and team to represent me. I am so tremendously proud of what they've done. They worked together. This firm worked so well together. So this is a very big promotion for Camille Vasquez. For a lot of people, becoming partner is kind of the pinnacle of that kind of law track career. I'm hating the way my lights are looking. Sorry, it's distracting me. We need to go back to this one. It was too much yellow. All right, we needed to get back to like the purples, blues, and pinks. It felt very yellowy. All right, sorry. I've distracted myself in real time. So it is a very big promotion and a very big deal. So Vasquez stated, I am delighted that Brown Rudnick has given me its full vote of confidence by having me join the partnership. I am proud of the uniquely talented team I've had the privilege to lead, which exemplified teamwork and collaboration. They really did. That no BS, no press statement. They really, really did. And I look forward to continuing to represent Brown Rudnick's culture of excellence. Vasquez is a 2010 graduate of Southwestern Law School. That's also where I went to law school. I graduated in 2005 and received her bachelor's degree magna cum laude from University of Southern California. We won't talk about that. We were doing so well. Camille, we were doing so well. We were doing so well. It's okay. The shade to USC is real. It's always going to be real. It's not personal. It's not personal, Camille. It's USC. That's all right. We still love Camille. So Camille has been elevated to partner. Generally with firms like this, everybody votes on who becomes partner. It feels like a sorority. Everybody votes. Yeah, let them in. And then with that, depending on the firm, and I don't know how Brown Rudnick works, I can ask around who I know. I know all the USC alumni are going to say something. Sorry, we are a USC family, a UCLA family. My sister-in-law went to USC, so we shade my sister-in-law too. We are a UCLA family over at my house. When you grow up in Southern California, you have to pick a side. We pick a side, but we still love Camille. So, obviously a very, very good litigator and a very smart woman. And we saw that from her performance. But with that, often partnership like this brings in profit sharing in the firm and other opportunities to kind of write your own track. And I'm excited to see that for her. I believe Camille's 37, 38 years old. So, making partner in a law firm is a big career step. So with that, we're going to move on. I had another quick bit. Oh yeah, we got to talk about Elaine. We got to talk about UCLA Bruin chick is like, thank you. I see all you saying fight on. I see it. I have USC friends too. It's a fun rivalry. Haley M said, for all my Southerners, USC, UCLA is Alabama and Auburn. I'm sure there's other equivalents all around. Yes. North Carolina, NC, Duke, or Carolina. It's the same. We have sides. And when you live there, you have sides. Look, my brother-in-law, huge USC fan. My sister-in-law went to USC. Still shade. Brazilian here thinking USC meant University of South Carolina. Oh, very fair. USC means University of Spoiled Children. I'm sorry. Southern California. It means University of Southern California. And then UCLA is University of California, Los Angeles. So those are very California-y rivalries that kind of spew out over the world. Sports rivalries and all the things. So anyway, we will give Camille Vasquez her dues. I am so excited for her making partners. So excited to see that. And of course, a little bit of shade. All of the people who are in the chat being like, Emily, would you have gotten into USC? No, I wouldn't have. Could I have afforded to go there? Also, no. Did I get into UCLA? Also, no. Is this my rivalry? Yes. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Go UMass. All right. We're going to move on. We've got to talk about Elaine, and then we're moving on to Britney Spears. We're going to just, yes, thank you, chat, for snaps for Camille Vasquez. We're so happy for her. Love to see it. Love to see it. Glad they didn't hold the announcement. They had to, right? They had to. Brown Rudnick had to double down and be like, we are making Camille a partner. She is a shining star as a litigator, and you can tell that this firm trusts each other. It was actually a real pleasure to watch a law firm work so well together. And there's clearly, like, if I'm a law student right now, I'm looking at that going, that's the culture I want if I'm going firm life. Like if I'm firm bound, that is the culture I want, where a partner arguing the law trusts, a lawyer to hand up a Post-it note and be like, this is the next part of your argument. And they worked so well together. It truly was a pleasure to watch that. So with that, we need to talk a little bit about all of these interviews that Elaine has been doing. We have not seen Ben Chu's interview yet, but you know what? Why don't we go over that together in the Members Only Live on Thursday? I mean, I went to Cal State Long Beach undergrad too. I went to two. My dad went to Cal State Long Beach too. We have lots of Cal State love here. Elaine is getting her 15 minutes, but it's shameful. She's doing something. I mean, I'm going to try to give Elaine the benefit of the doubt. Let's just talk about it. And then for the Members Only Live on Thursday, I'm going to make a note. Somebody's going to make a note. Miguelina's going to make a note for me. I don't forget. And we'll go over together Ben Chu's interview, because that should be tomorrow. So let's talk about Elaine and the media shitstorm after this trial. I'm not surprised that there's a media blitz. I'm not surprised there's a media blitz at all, but it stopped real quick, didn't it? It stopped real quick. But she was on Today and Good Morning America. Here's what I was most encouraged by. Both sets of interviewers asked good questions. Just asked good questions. They kept asking her, but the jury didn't buy it. And she kept trying to bridge to other topics, which again, in politics is exactly what you're going to get. And in public relations, you're going to get it too. Take the question they're asking and then make it fit the answer that you're going to give anyway. And that's what she was doing in all of these. She wasn't really answering the questions. Her talking points are the jury was influenced by the media, that the judge kept out mountains of evidence, that Amber Heard was demonized. And I have to ask you guys a question. I know so many of you watched this trial with me and elsewhere on the interwebs. I saw them demonizing Johnny Depp's substance more than I saw Amber Heard demonized. So let's put up a poll. Who was demonized in this trial by the lawyers on the other side? Who was personally victimized by Regina George? No, that's not the poll. Who was demonized by the lawyers on the other side, Depp or Heard? Let's put up a poll and we'll just do the poll and we'll see. But I saw every time they had an opportunity, they leaned in to Johnny Depp being a drug user, and therefore he shouldn't be believed. He can't be trusted. He is the scourge of the earth because he has substance abuse issues. It's clear he has substance abuse issues. Does that mean that he can't also be a victim? No, it sure doesn't. So if anyone was demonized in this, I personally, my personal belief was that Johnny Depp and his substance use were what was demonized. They pointed out that Amber Heard said things that weren't true to the jury, but I don't think they demonized. They said, she said this. The truth is not that. Is that demonizing someone? Or is that saying you watched her say, potato, potato, donated, pledged? And so when you've got Elaine Bredehoft going on the news saying, well, they learned from the UK case to demonize Amber, I'm sitting there going, wait a fucking second. Because what the UK court did was discount everything Johnny Depp said because he was using. So what Elaine's team did was looked at what happened in the UK and went, oh, we demonized Depp and his substance use, and then they won't believe him because he used substances. Obviously, that's our game plan. And that was their game plan. He uses substances, he cannot be trusted. He uses substances, therefore he is abusive. He uses substances, therefore you can't believe anything he says. And he pays people on his payroll, and therefore they're all lying for him because he uses substances and everyone covers for him. Substance use, substance use, substance use, substance use. Him and his drug buddy Britney and Marilyn Manson. All of them. Disgusting human beings, blah, 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 blah. That was their talking point. And so where was the demonization of Amber Heard? I missed it. Like, I missed the demonization of Amber Heard in the trial. I think they pointed out what she said and did. So for Elaine to go on all the shows, I understand the attempt at PR, relitigating in the public court of public opinion, but the mountains of evidence that she's been talking about were kept out, were seemingly therapy records. That's what she said on Today. But therapy records were taken into consideration by, Dr. Hughes and others. And those are self-reports. So therapy records are very different than medical records where she's gone and had a broken nose reset or had chipped teeth fixed. That's not the same thing. I hear someone at my door. Is that my oldest child? Hello, oldest child. I am streaming. Have you fed the cats? Did you just get up? No judgment. Okay, feed the cats. Not right now. Can you wait till I'm done streaming? Thanks, buddy. Welcome to streaming in the summer. Don't forget to close my door. That's fine. Leave Fred. I was in the middle of a sentence. We're going back to it. Thanks, T. So she's trying to say that these mountains of evidence aren't coming in. But I think it was therapy records, and therapy records are self-reports. And the self-reports, again, very valid for use in therapy, but maybe not for court, because they're what the experts relied on, and the experts relied on them. So they really did come in. They just weren't read into the record. Why? Because they're self-reports, and Amber Heard can testify to what she self-reported. That's the right to confront someone. She got to testify. So then you get, the jury must have been swayed by social media. Elaine, you brought in a hashtag expert that said hashtag justice for Johnny Depp over and over and over again. So even if the jury, which I think they weren't, we don't have any information that the jury was swayed by social media outside the trial. What was going on social media was brought into the trial by Amber Heard's team, not Depp's team. So I understand the talking points, but I'm annoyed. Also, this is a tale of two trials. Who wrote that? Who wrote this is a tale of two trials? I don't know what's going on with the mic today, you guys. I'm sorry. I don't know who wrote this is a tale of two trials, but for anyone paying attention, the two trials are very, very different. And the two trials were completely, different points, because one was in the UK, different system of law. Then we get, you guys are like, the connections are good. Oh. Hopefully that wasn't loud. The UK case was between Johnny Depp and the Sun. So with Johnny Depp and the Sun, he didn't get to put in evidence to prove credibility as much towards Amber Heard because it was whether the Sun could believe her. Did the Sun have enough evidence from her to believe her? The Sun doesn't have to prove she was lying. The Sun had to prove they had enough evidence to believe her. Enough evidence to say it's more likely than not that this is true. Okay. But he didn't get to fight her credibility because she wasn't a party. She also didn't win. She wasn't a party. She was a witness. And the judge relied heavily on the fact that she donated the money. And we now know that that's not true. So there we are. So I think we're going to see we might see a few more things going on with the media tour, especially after Ben Shue talks. I want to see what they file in court. That's what I want to know. What happened? What will they file in court? Foxy Cleo, this question caught my eye, so we're going to answer it. Was the jury sequestered? No. Expensive to sequester the jury, so no. So with that, Amber Heard did change PR firms in the middle, and she's allowed to do that. She's allowed to do PR. She's allowed to do the things. So let's take a look at the poll, and then we're going to get into all these Britney Spears documents. I'm going to change out cables later. So Ben Shue's interview, I'm seeing reports that it's on Wednesday. So that's what I'm seeing on social, but I will, when I see a link to it, I'll reshare it. Let's see what you guys decided on this poll. Who was demonized by the lawyers on the other side? Depp, 94%, Heard 5%. Fair. And this is what I love about the law nerd community. Reasonable minds can differ. So reasonable minds can differ. So you guys are saying tomorrow night on Court TV. So what happens on the 24th? And then we're going to move on to Britney stuff, and then we'll move back to questions. The 24th is the entry of the judgment. So the entry of the judgment is when interest will begin to accrue. I believe Law and Lumber Rob said it was 6% interest will start to accrue. And then we might see motions before that or after. I mean, we've got time to see motions before or after that they're going to file for judgment notwithstanding a verdict. No reasonable jury could have come to this, result, blah, 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 blah. And then we'll see probably a notice of appeal filed. And then there will be a whole bunch of litigation. There will be litigation, continuing litigation in this case. And we will absolutely follow that here the same way we follow the other post trials, including, Cardi B and Tasha K and others. So we will do that. We'll see what happens in the UK, and we'll see if the UK takes up the cause of whether or not she lied about the donated versus pledged. We will see. So you guys are asking about the appeal. I think she will appeal. Will she have to post an appeal bond? I need to talk to Law and Lumber, Rob, about it, because if you post an appeal bond, it should stay the interest. But if you don't post the appeal bond, I think you can still appeal. It might just not stay the 6% interest. We'll have to see. So with that, thank you guys for 11,000 of you voting. There's almost 40,000 of you watching across platforms. So just if you're on the YouTubes and you haven't done the subscribing things, what are you waiting for? We're on the road to, where are we on the road to? 650. It's wild. It's wild. That's a lot of interest per day, Marissa. Thank you. That's a lot of interest. And then it will just continue. It will just continue. What does 6% interest mean? It means that on the judgment, if you don't pay it, it goes up by 6%. So it accrues interest of 6%, the amount of the judgment, $10.3 million. I think it would probably accrue on, I think they'll probably offset the judgment. So the interest maybe should accrue on the 8%. I think that would make more sense. So maybe the 8%. All right, let us go to talking about Britney. There are a bunch of new motions in the Britney Spears case. I'm going to try to do these in order. The court website was just fuckery today, and so it was giving me the business. These are first looks. We are not going to go page by page through everything. We cannot. We are going to do an overview of what's going on. I know that others that do Britney Spears legal commentary have covered these. BJ over at That Surprise Witness has broken these down, and I'm sure others have. So with that, I'm backing up to the April 6th minute order and then going forward from there. It's Britney, bitch. Let's go. Let's go. Let's talk about these subpoenas. Man, oh man. All right, we're backing up to a minute order from April 6th as we jump back into the Britney Spears case. Oh, I should do a brief road so far. Road so far. For those of you that have not followed the Britney Spears conservatorship as closely, not a worry. We are, after the Britney Spears conservatorship, now litigating over what fuckery, if any, fuckery? Damn it. Do I hate myself for saying that? No, I don't. I stand by that. I stand by that. What, if any, fuckery is James Spears, the former conservator of Britney Spears' person and estate, who was yeeted towards the end of this thing and then is being investigated by Britney Spears' bomb-ass lawyer, Matthew Rosengart. Rosengart, former AUSA prosecutor, not putting up with any fuckery, just like, what is happening? Let's see where this money went. What is going on? So there have been subpoenas back and forth to sit for depositions to try to figure out what happened with Britney's money, what ridiculousness happened in the course of this conspiracy, and we are still fighting over that. Apparently, James Spears has failed to sit for multiple depositions. And we're going to get into those motions today. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pages. Hundreds of pages. We're not going to go through all of them. We're going to get to some of them. So yes, Rosengart, I want to see Rosengart, and I need to go to a law meeting where we get a panel from Rosengart and Camille Vasquez. That's a CLE I would pay a fuck ton of money for. Rosengart, Camille Vasquez, Judge A, talking about these media cases, talking about what it is like to work under this type of microscope with the entire world watching, when you also have fans that are so strong, because it is a different thing. And we've seen this in the Britney case and we're seeing it in the Depp case, and I hate it in both cases, but we are seeing the small percentage of the dark side of fan culture where you saw death threats against the conservators of Britney's estate and others, vitriol towards them. And we're seeing that towards anyone who is supporting Amber Heard. And the thing is, people are allowed to support Amber Heard. Her friends are allowed to stand by her. Even though the court has ruled against her, Amber Heard is allowed to have support in all of this. So people flooding the social media of anyone that has supported her or come out and supported their friend just doesn't sit well with me. And it's kind of, I don't know, when it's people who support Johnny Depp, it's what they accuse people who support Amber Heard of doing, but it's generally two sides of the same coin. There are a percentage of people on the internet who are going to take it too far, and I hate it on all sides, even when I don't like the person it's against. When it comes to James Spears, don't like James Spears, don't like the things I've seen from this case. Not going to wish someone ill. Wished they were removed from the conservatorship? Yes. Wish Britney Spears gets her money back? Yes. Wish we get transparency in the truth of what the fuck happened? Yes. Hope that Britney is able to speak her truth and find her voice and write a book and do all the things she wants to do? Yes. Let her get married and run around naked in Hawaii, all that she wants. Let her be. But the death threats and the doxing and all of that is too far. It's just too far. It's too far when people are supporting, on social media, supporting Amber Heard and getting just absolute vitriol. It's too far. So with that, we've seen it on both sides, but I would love to hear the attorneys that dealt with it, because the attorneys, Camille Vasquez and Rosengart, are on the side of the one who's more popular in the court of public opinion at the moment. But it's got to be concerning for them watching this happen, because the fans that would do that can damage their client's case and can make their clients look bad. And that is also problematic. And we just don't talk about it a lot. And we've seen, it's not discussed enough. So No need to take it that far. All right, I am going to get off my high horse talking about taking things too far on the internet. We're all, at some point though, I worry that judges are going to look at the Britney Spears case, the Depp case, and others and say, this puts everyone at risk and I don't want to deal with it, because that is a very real consideration for a judge of, I don't want it to be on my watch that someone gets hurt, that someone gets doxxed, that someone gets swatted, not on my watch. And I would rather have, whatever, 50 people can get into the courtroom and no one else. And that's bad for all of us. Imagine what the headlines would be coming out of the Depp Heard case if we hadn't all watched it. Even the headlines now, I'm looking at going, did I watch the same trial that the person writing this watched? And what if that's all we had to rely on? How much more difficult would it be to know what's happening? And it's the same with the Britney case. Years and years and years of Britney's case went under lock and key, and we did not know what was happening other than what was being filed in the few publicly available court records. It wasn't until there was one day, one hearing, one that was on the remote audio access program that we heard what Britney's been dealing with in her own voice. One. And it got leaked all over the internet, and the County of Los Angeles shut down the entire remote audio access program for the entire fucking county. That's how worried they were about it. So I don't want the behavior of some on the internet to kind of ruin it for everybody. It's like it's the one kid who fucks it up for the whole class. Like, don't fuck it up for the class. We need transparency. Our court system thrives and is made for transparency. And having transparency where alternative media or independent media or whatever you want to call whatever we do here on the YouTubes, a purple-haired lawyer with a microphone can watch the same trial you all are watching and give commentary on it. It gives all of us the ability to decide for ourselves. And why is the media so afraid of all of us deciding for ourselves? I trust y'all to decide for yourselves. I trust you to know how you feel about something. I trust you to make the decision for yourself. I trust you to take in the information and say, hey, that sucks, or hey, that seemed like a right result, or hey, that sucks, but I understand why that's the result. I trust you to make those decisions for yourself. Why doesn't the media? Let's keep going. I'm done. There, I've said it. Exactly. Don't be the reason we can't have nice things. Don't be the reason we can't have transparency in courts, because we all need it. All right. This is from April 6th. We've probably already gone on this, but we needed to back up so we could go forward. Allowance of fees filed November 1st by Yasha Bronstein. The court finds that the objections as well as the reply have been filed. The court continues the matter. Oh, that's right. We're still dealing with the money. Lest we forget. Everyone's still trying to get Britney to pay their legal fees. That still hasn't been resolved yet. Shit. That still hasn't been resolved yet. Ugh. All right, let me find, this is from April 18th. Let's go back to the April 18th documents first, and then we'll go to the May 31st documents because there are a bunch of them. Let's see. Let's go to April 18th and just get caught up with what we're doing on the Britney case. Again, we're not going to go line by line for everything. We're going to do our best. This is Britney Jean Spears' notice of motion and motion to quash deposition subpoena for business records issued to non-party Kroll associates or alternatively for protective order memorandum of points and authority. So what they're asking for based on the title, and we're going to go back through, but this is Britney's attorneys and non-party Kroll. This is being filed by Rosengart's firm. I love the way they write. They've been really fun. They're asking to quash a subpoena. So somebody is trying to depose, they're trying to get business records from Kroll Associates. We're going to find out who Kroll and Associates is in just a minute. Optimistically. So let's see. On July 27th at 1:30 or soon thereafter, as it may be heard. So we've got another court date coming up for Britney Spears. I should have looked. We've got another court date coming up for Britney Spears. They're not done yet. They still haven't decided the attorney's fees for H&K, Holland and Knight, which always, the way they look, it always just, in my mind, it's always Hell's Kitchen. So Holland and Knight is still asking for over $2 million in legal fees to have Britney Spears pay Daddy Spears' legal fees. That's still not done yet. That's the thing that in my mind, I have not lost sight of yet. Britney Spears' mom's asking for legal fees so much. So, all right. For an order quashing or alternatively protective order limiting James Spears' deposition subpoena. So deposition subpoena issued by James Spears for the production of business records issued to a non-party. So we want all the business records from Kroll and Associates. Who's Kroll? Footnote 2. Kroll has served objections and motion and joins in the motion. In so doing, Kroll adopts and incorporates by reference the arguments set forth. Great, but who are you? This motion is brought on the grounds that the subpoena is extremely overbroad, unduly burdensome, oppressive. Those are grounds for objections. And improperly seeks business records from Kroll, seeks documents, information containing private, investigative, and confidential information. That it seeks documents or information equally available to James Spears, the party whose misconduct is at issue. I just spit. I got so excited. I just spit. Misconduct. The parties whose misconduct is at issue. Who is the person most knowledgeable regarding that conduct? Spears. And Kroll was retained by counsel for Britney Spears as a consultant, and the subpoena therefore improperly seeks to invade attorney-work-client privilege. So this is someone hired as a consultant after? No. Kroll's the FBI agent. Perfect. Thank you. All of you are like, Kroll's the FBI agent. Lovely. Perfect. The investigator. Well, that came later. That came after. Specifically, Britney seeks an order from the court that quashes subpoena requests for production, all the subpoena request numbers, limits the scope of the production request 1, 7, and 14. So they're still litigating. Let's see. Table of contents. Let's get our brief fact scenario here, and then we'll move on. On July 26, 2021, Britney Spears, through counsel, filed her verified petition for suspension or removal of Spears. After extensive briefing and argument and a lengthy hearing, the court suspended James P. Spears on September 29th, 2021. We will all remember where we were. I was in Los Angeles at Vid Summit, streaming from my hotel room while drinking like a mega White Claw. It was great. That was a whole vibe. I was so excited. After extensive briefing and argument, the lengthy hearing, the court suspended Spears, determining that the conservatorship he had run was toxic. I'm here for the fact that Rosengart et al. Go out of their way to make cheeky Britney references. I love it so much. I love it. And that his suspension was proper in the best interest of the conservatee. Thus, after reigning over the 13-year conservatorship from which Mr. Spears enriched himself by reaping at least $6.3 million from his daughter's estate while paying others close to him tens of millions more, Mr. Spears' reign ended. Footnote 3, sassy footnote. This sum is based upon verified... Start that again. This sum is based upon unverified QuickBooks information. The total monies and benefits obtained by Mr. Spears and others is subject to further investigation. Oh, we're not done yet. Mr. Spears has nevertheless continued to importune, seeking to harass, intimidate, and bully his own daughter. You can read the who even does that anyway implied, including in connection with issuing improper abusive discovery and now an oppressive third-party subpoena that impermissibly invades attorney-client privilege and work product, as further discussed below. Although he has repeatedly and disconcertingly referred to himself as a loving father. Indeed, he and his counsel spent substantial conservatorship funds, his daughter's funds, totaling more than $500,000 on a media tour to try with futility to convey such an image. The evidence of abuse inflicted upon Miss Spears is manifest. The abusive discovery Mr. Spears purports to have propounded, that's a lot of P's all at once, purports to have propounded, as well as the present subpoena, further prove this point to show, sadly, that the pattern continues. These subpoenas, Your Honor, are abusive. Who even does that? Yes, the $500K is the media matters. The media tour, the media matters. It has been an honor to represent and seek to protect Britney Spears from further trauma and abuse. In that regard, we respectfully submit that a decent father, a father who truly loved his daughter, would shut the fuck up with this. Who truly loved his daughter and wished to protect her, as he claims, would place his daughter's interests above his own, as a fiduciary is also required to do. Such a father would show grace and decency and cease and desist from bullying and harassing his daughter, even if he disagreed with the evidence concerning the trauma and abuse she endured, and even if he disagreed with the specific and credible allegations against him that implicate both civil and criminal statutes. This is what a loving, protective father would do. Indeed, the time has come at long last for Mr. Spears to show such decency. Okay, sure. In short, Mr. Spears, first as a father, but also as a fiduciary, would simply move on. A lot of that going around. He should cooperate and tell the truth rather than obfuscating, which I can never pronounce, Rosengard et al. Never. Instead of obfuscating, there's an F in there. It's so confusing. And stonewalling. We're going with that. He should waive the Fifth Amendment. Oh, he's not going to do that. You know he's not going to do that. We've come upon a sentence I disagree with. That's not going to happen. He will not. You can say that he should. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. He should properly and professionally transfer all files. That should happen, including all communications with counsel during the conservatorship. That should happen. Here's a fun quirk of the conservatorship. The position of conservator is a position. So the privilege flows with the position. So everything Spears communicated with counsel Holland and Knight and others should go to the new conservator, the temporary conservator of the person and the estate. He hasn't done that yet, and that's part of this fight. He's obligated to turn it over. He doesn't have attorney-client privilege. Spears is the human. The conservator, the role of conservator, has the privilege. And that should go to the next. It transfers to the next, which is why getting him ousted or yeeted was so important. So that would all transfer. And they're still fighting it. Still. He should answer all questions regarding his administration of the conservatorship. Yes, he has to, including regarding his activities in concert with TriStar Sports and Entertainment, Black Box Security, Inc., the ones who were tapping Britney's house and media, and should appear promptly for deposition rather than hiding. He should then finish his final ministerial deeds, submit the final accounting, leave his daughter alone, and move on. This is what a father who truly loved his daughter would do. All of this is particularly true in view of the following. Oh boy. By way of illustration only, even as he enriched himself from the conservatorship, making himself a millionaire at his daughter's expense on the heels of his admitted alcohol abuse, inability to sustain a livelihood, and long history of financial mismanagement, including tax liens, defaults, failed business ventures, and Chapter 7 bankruptcy, Mr. Spears stripped his daughter of fundamental liberties, worked his daughter to the point of extreme exhaustion, ran a toxic conservatorship that was born of and seriously tainted by a significant conflict of interest in violation of, among other things, the California rules of court. Mr. Spears, through his counsel, was forced to admit that he borrowed substantial monies from TriStar shortly before placing his daughter into the conservatorship and then hiring TriStar as her manager, despite her supposed incapacity, sending her on a grueling 97-show international tour and on to other work from which he and others close to him obtained millions of dollars. Footnote 4. Instead of seeking to place her in a short-term LPS conservatorship, which carries a higher initial burden and statutory framework that protects conservatees, presumes that the conservatee's mental health can improve, and contains stringent requirements and protections for the conservatee, Mr. Spears placed his daughter into a long-term probate conservatorship generally intended for those with dementia, like Tom Girardi, whose situations cannot or most likely will not improve, evidently without filing a declaration of incapacity, which is a huge fucking deal. The foundations of this conservatorship were rotten at the root. There was never a declaration of incapacity. How a judge approved this, and it's not the current judge on this, but how the judge approved this is bananas. We saw a conservatorship that was seeking to temporarily stabilize a situation in Amanda Bynes. And we saw that conservatorship start, be temporary, then cease, then come back and be temporary. And then when she asked for it to cease, it was like a month later that it was over. That was it. That was it. This whole case is one of the ones that makes me the most mad. As Anthony Palmieri, the incoming president of the National Guardianship Association, an organization representing conservators, recently observed, the existence of the TriStar loan is troubling. Yeah, because it's a conflict of interest. Keep reading, Emily. It makes me wonder where the allegiance lies. Is the conservator making decisions in the best interest of conservatee or the business manager who they owe a debt? It reeks of conflict of interest. Accurate. The rest of this looks like it is a recitation of what we've already gone through in other motions of all the problems with the conservatorship. The breaches of fiduciary duty. This is an entire restatement of the failures of James Spears, which we've seen in multiple filings, including the one to have him yeeted. And then it gets down to the procedural history and the present motion. That is something I'm interested in. So let's get to that. Amanda Bynes' conservatorship was terminated a few months back. Suspended conservator, we call them the yeeted conservator over here. The yeeted conservator, James P. Spears, issued a deposition subpoena for the production of business records, so documents. We want the documents. That purports to require a non-party consultant to divulge privileged and protected communications. California law does not permit Spears to take advantage of the industry. California law does not permit Mr. Spears to take advantage of the industry and efforts of Britney Spears' counsel and their investigative team by peering behind the curtain to discover her daughter's counsel's legal strategy, mental impressions, and evaluation of facts and law. The relevant facts are simple. Counsel for Britney Spears engaged Kroll as a consultant. Kroll has not been designated as an expert witness for trial, has not prepared an expert witness report. Mr. Spears issued a deposition subpoena for Kroll for the production of business records, a phrase that is inapt in this context, requesting everything related to Kroll's engagement, research, analysis, communications, interviews, etc. regarding the case. This is improper. The discovery statutes do not permit such a backdoor shortcut or piggybacking effort. We've got to get all of it in there. It's all the things. All the things. A backdoor shortcut piggybacking effort. They didn't say bootstrapping. We could have gotten in there too. By efforts by a party much less ignominiously suspended fiduciary. I do appreciate the sassy writing that we always get. We always get from Rosengard's firm. Always. 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 Seeking opposing. It's like, hey, can I just copy that? Can I get your homework? No. Hire your own. The thing is, here's the thing. If Spears wants to hire his own consultant, he's going to have to pay. And that's going to be an issue. Mr. Spears has profited off his daughter's industry and efforts long enough. That is over now. Cheers. Cheers. Cheers to that is over now. Good Lord. The amount of legal fees to fight against her. The amount of legal fees that were spent to fight against her. It's just. Ugh. The history surrounding the conservatorship of Britney Jean Spears is well known to the court. We will not recount all herein. Instead, we will briefly address the information needed to understand the relationship between Kroll and the parties, the procedural posture that led to the motion. Okay. Kroll is a preeminent global investigative and consulting firm with nearly 5,000 professionals located in 30 countries and territories. Chat got here 30 minutes ago. Chat got here 30 minutes ago, but we're getting here now. Located in 30 countries and territories around the world and is a recognized leader and specialist in conducting complex financial and other investigations. Spears retained Kroll last summer as a consultant to provide consulting services related to actual and potential litigation. I think it's Shireen Abadi is the associate managing director in forensic investigations and intelligence practice at Kroll. Before joining Kroll, Abadi was a special agent with the FBI. We loved this work. We were fascinated by this work. It was very interesting work in some of the other motions. It was very, very interesting. So good. During her tenure with the FBI, we go through her expertise, which we did in other motions. Although he was previously suspended and the conservatorship is over, and despite profiting personally from his daughter's estate in the amount exceeding $6.3 million, on December 15th, 2021, Spears filed a petition. Spears filed a petition seeking to have Britney continue to pay his legal fees going forward. Let that sink in. To continue to pay his legal fees going forward. What? Yeatid's petition is legally meritless. Under the totality of the circumstances, his petition is morally abominable. We love a good use of abominable. Among other things, California law understandably, oh, we binged. Look at y'all. Thanks, y'all. We binged. Where are we? 6:33. Thanks for subscribing. Yay. 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 California law understandably holds the pendant light fees are not justified here. And we can go into why the fees are not justified, but we've done it in so many motions on this point. This we haven't gotten to much. On or about March 1st, 2022, Spears served a deposition subpoena on Kroll for production of so-called business records. The subpoena contains 27 requests asking for everything under the sun relating to the declaration, Kroll's engagement, Ms. Spears' legal strategy. Under the guise of non-party discovery, the request improperly seeks impermissible access to confidential, investigative, private, privileged communications and work product. And then they go through some of the examples of the subpoena. Then they go through why the court should quash the subpoena, meaning we're not doing that. It should be literally quashed, like no more subpoena. Done. So they're going through the court's authority to quash a subpoena. The court can when the subpoena is not proper. They're saying the subpoena is improper. It's seeking improper things. Let's see what else. This is going to the heart of that the declaration that was submitted in court. The subpoena impermissibly seeks discovery from a consultant who is not designated to testify at trial because there's no trial yet. Alternatively, the court should issue a protective order. And that's like, if you make us turn this over, it should be protected, which is fine. I think the court, well, we'll see what the court will do. Let's see what Rosengart's declaration has to say real quick on this before we get to the other motions. And then we'll get to questions. All right. Declaration of Rosengart in support of the motion to quash. Ooh, email exchange between counsel. Re-meet and confer scheduling. Great. Britney Spears' objections to and opposition to the petition and for order regarding payment. Britney Spears' objections to subpoena. Kroll's objections. Second amended notice of James Spears. The surveillance apparatus that surrounded Britney Spears. Britney Spears felt trapped. Her business manager benefited. All right. Let's see what the 54 pages attached here have to say. These are the objections on the record from Kroll. We're not going to go through all the objections. It's going to be a lot of the same. Improper discovery, privileged, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, objections and responding, and these go to each production item. So we're not going to go through all of the Kroll objections because it would take forever. And we don't need to. They're objecting that you can't get that, and that's improper, and you can't get that, and that's improper. Over and over and over again. All right. I want to see the emails, though. Second amended notice for deposition of James Spears. Oh, so this is from, do we have a date on this? April 6, 2022. Please take notice that conservative pursuant to civil procedure is asking James Spears to sit for a deposition. Document definitions and instructions. We've already seen those in others. It looks like they have reset the date. This is everything they're asking to be produced. We went through these in the past, including questions about whether there was any improper relationship between James Spears and Lou Taylor, like all kinds of stuff in here. But we have gone through these in the past form, all text messages, like all of the things. What are you doing, Fred? Doing all the things. All documents relating to the invoice legal fees relating to litigation pursued against one of the leaders of the Free Britney movement and participants to that. They charged Britney. Lou Taylor went after somebody who had a blog about Lou Taylor and sued and sent cease and desist. And we went over that probably a year and a half ago. But they charged Britney's estate for it. What the fuck? So this is what this is getting to, is they charged Britney's estate when her business manager went after somebody from the Free Britney movement. Like, what are you doing? So that's what these are related to. All correspondence of invoice legal fees relating to litigation pursued against one of the leaders of Free Britney. This is like any stipulated judgment against that person. Bonds, documents related to cooking, cruising, and chaos with James Spears, trying to get a pilot of a TV show. Yikes. This is a New York Times article about the surveillance. Where are the emails? Did we miss the emails? Britney Spears felt trapped. This is an article from, also from the New York Times. The New York Times has covered this case really well. Liz Day has just done, Liz Day et al. Has done a really incredible job. They did I thought their documentary on this was great. I really enjoyed the breakdown. They got access to some documents that were really incredible to see them break down. Let's see. Did I miss the emails? I might have. Let me scroll back up and see, because they were supposed to be included in here. I didn't see them. Maybe they were short, or maybe they're not. It was supposed to be Exhibit B, and somehow I missed it. All right, I might have scrolled too fast. We might have gone too far, y'all. Let's see, where is Exhibit B? I was trying to get past all the other stuff. That's a hearing transcript. Ooh, what hearing is this? June 23rd. All right, we'll go back through that another day. Love that there's a transcript in here. Somehow missed that. So we're going to try to find those emails. Exhibit 2. Email. Ha! I love this stuff I thought Liz Day did a great job. Really, really do. All right. Let's see. These are from November. Oh, are these the ones we've already seen? I think these are the ones we've already seen between the two attorneys, because these are from November 2021. Let's see if there's anything more recent. But this is the back and forth of, you need to sit for a deposition. We need to do this. So it's just the one email. Is this supposed to be redacted? Is this supposed to be redacted? Looks like maybe it is supposed to be redacted. All right, fair enough. But that's annoying. Oh, this is a different... What has happened? We have ended up in a different world entirely, because we got the Declaration of Rosengart. Hold on. And it jumped documents, because that one... Oh, no, this is 282 pages. Where is the email exchange that's Exhibit B? Still looking for it. All right, there we go. Found it. The problem is these are These are long. We're now at like the 200 plus pages because there's transcripts in here. So, and then we're going to get to real quick zoom of the other stuff and then go through this. These are from April 14th, 2022. So these are newer. Let's see. From Rosengart, tomorrow is Good Friday and Passover, and Sunday's Easter, which some of us observe, and our responses are presently due Monday. A back and forth of letters rather than a telephone call will take time between a weekend and a Monday. If you insist on proceeding that way, we suggest moving the response date from April 18th to April 25th. Let us know if this is agreeable. We will schedule a call as soon as we see your position laid out in writing so we can have a proper meet and confirm. Much appreciated. Back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Please send us your position in writing. They're like, can we just have a call? We are going to discuss the scope and content of the Kroll subpoena. Let us know when is a good time. What are we going to be discussing? We would like to know in advance to make the conversation productive. The Kroll subpoena. So back and forth and back and forth and back and forth over these subpoenas. And then all of the objections to the subpoenas. All right. So fighting over that subpoena. And then we have two of those are the same. Then we have Britney's new motion to compel the deposition of James Spears that was filed on May 25th. And we're going to look at that real quick. So let us go to Britney Spears is still fighting to compel her dad to sit for a deposition real quick. And then questions. I can't believe this fight is so, I should be able to believe this fight is still going on. This was just filed on May 25th. So just last week while we were in the middle of the Depp Heard trial. They want this to be heard on July 13th. We'll see if this is on calendar that day and then peek in on what happens. Good cause exists to grant this motion because James P. Spears' deposition was first noticed for October 2021. October. They have been trying to depose him since October. And despite two subsequent notices, Mr. Spears has not appeared for his deposition, has not agreed to any of the numerous deposition dates proposed in good faith to accommodate him in counsel, and has not volunteered any available dates for his deposition. It's like, put out some dates. None of those work. Put out some dates. None of those work. Mr. Spears can run, but he cannot forever hide from his legal and fiduciary obligations. He still has duties. He still has duties as the former conservator, fiduciary duties, beyond like the morality of being a parent, but legal fiduciary obligations. Just, his stonewalling and, oh crap, again, obfuscation. I can't do it. Obfuscation. It's the few. Obfuscation. Whatever. We're going to try. We're going to keep trying. Pronunciation is hard. Must not stop the truth from coming to light. Obfuscation. His stonewalling and fuckery. We're just going with fuckery. His stonewalling and fuckery. Must not stop the truth from coming to light. It has only required that the parties expand unnecessary resources in a protracted battle to obtain his compliance, which sucks. But after using his daughter's money for more than 13 years to fund his legal fees and expenses, for the first time, Mr. Spears will now have to pay all his own legal fees. I'm sure he is super annoyed by that. Super annoyed. Counsel for Britney Spears engaged in extensive meet and confer discussions with counsel for Mr. Spears over many months. Mr. Spears failed to appear for depositions that were noticed for October 20, 2021, November 10, 2021, April 6, 2022. Most recently, by letter dated April 26 and May 2nd, counsel for Spears, Britney, offered no fewer than 8 dates for the deposition with more than 1 month's notice. All of these dates in June. 3rd, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 14th, 15th, and 16th. Yeated's counsel failed to accept any of these dates, nor did he offer alternative dates. Based on the above, it's evident that Spears will not voluntarily sit for a deposition and that he must be compelled to do so. Your Honor, Yeated refuses to comply. Make him come to court. Make him come to court. Wait, Camille picks up a... Okay, well, I get to questions. We're going to go do that. See, this is why I should turn the chat off because I get distracted. That's why when I say, when we chat on this topic, it's so I don't get pulled in another direction. And then everybody's like, wait, you didn't finish that. You didn't finish the topic. And it's because I've jumped elsewhere. I'm going to go look at that. Immediately. I'm very excited. This motion necessitated by the above is based on the notice of motion and all the accompanying law stuff. Despite his demonstrably false claims that he has nothing to hide and would therefore hide nothing, footnote 2, James Spears has been running and hiding from his deposition and accounting for his misconduct under oath as required by law. Footnote voice. See James P. Spears, November 1st, 2021 status report. See also November 5th, 2021 email to Mr. Spears' counsel, Alex Weingarten, and October 25th and November 2nd letters to TriStar's counsel, copies of which are annexed to the Rosengart declarations as exhibits I and J, respectively. Not a sassy footnote, but a footnote nonetheless. Indeed, while representing that he would unconditionally cooperate with and act with complete transparency without conditions, he said all of that. He said all of that to the court. Mr. Spears is engaged in stonewalling and obstruction, thank you, for over 6 months, dodging his depositions like he's in the Matrix. No, that's not what it says. Dodging his depositions and repeatedly failing to respond to simple requests for basic information, including the following. What were the total fees obtained and received by James Spears or any entity in which he had an interest from Britney Spears or the estate? How much money did you get? How much? How much money did you get? What are the total fees obtained or received by TriStar Entertainment or any of its affiliates from Britney and the estate? Basic questions. How much did you get paid? How much? These should be easy things to prove. Mr. Spears, and easy information to find. Mr. Spears has also failed, among other things, to produce communications concerning the shocking electronic surveillance apparatus set up to spy on his daughter, including those involving one, his or his team's contemporaneous and real-time capturing and monitoring of Ms. Spears' private communications with third parties, including sacrosanct privileged communications with her prior counsel, and 2, placing a bug in his daughter's bedroom. As a suspended conservator, Mr. Spears is legally required to produce all such email and text message communications, including communications with his counsel. Footnote 3, we've gone over that quite a lot. Further, despite running a corrupted and conflicted conservatorship that stripped his daughter of certain fundamental liberties, 2, enriching himself from the conservatorship and reaping at least $6.3 million from it while paying his associates tens of millions more, footnote 4. And 3, being suspended from his post on September 29th, 2021, Spears continues to harass and bully Yeated continues to harass and bully Britney by, among other things, failing to cooperate with discovery and fiduciary obligations by serving intrusive and abusive discovery on his own daughter. Even worse, despite the past trauma Ms. Spears has endured, Yeated is now seeking to take his daughter's deposition. His own daughter's deposition. What? Wait. What? We've been very busy with the Depp Heard trial, but you're trying to tell me right fucking now that James Spears has tried to notice a deposition for Britney? Y'all, warning, this is going to get flashy. We're going to flash. Things are going to flash. If you are flash sensitive, we're going to flash. The flashing will end when the music does. So that's when you're clear. But what, if any, fuckery? All of the fuckery. All of it. He wants to take Britney's deposition. What? Yeah. Yes, Rosa. The motherfucking audacity. What are you going to depose Britney about? You've allegedly been bugging her room. So chat, for everybody's like, what is the implication of this? He wants to force Britney to sit under oath and be questioned by his lawyers about everything. All the things. She's spoken in court. You go first, yeeted Spears. You go first. You go first. Woo! I am floored. I am floored that they are trying. Look, things that are buried in the legal filings, that's where the real tea is. The real tea is in all the legal filings. Despite the prior trauma, despite the Mr. and Mrs. is so hard for me. There is times when the dyslexia, this is why I generally highlight stuff. I just haven't had time. Even worse, despite the prior trauma Britney has endured, Yeeted is now seeking to take his daughter's deposition, his own daughter's deposition, even as he hides from answering essential deposition questions concerning, among other things, the substantial pre-conservatorship loan he obtained from TriStar and whether it was used to implement the conservatorship. Wow. This is implying or asking if James Spears got a loan and it was a $40,000 odd loan, in that range, as best I remember, it could have been more, could have been less, but it was a substantial loan, tens of thousands of dollars, but I think less than $100,000. I would have to go back and look at my notes, but took a loan from TriStar shortly before TriStar became the manager of Britney Spears under the conservatorship. They're asking whether he used that loan to do the legal shit to implement the conservatorship. That would be so dark. Y'all, that would be so fucking dark. That would be so fucking dark. To get the money from TriStar, to apparently not pay it back based on these legal filings, and to say that because he had the loan from TriStar, that it seems, based on the legal filings, that was not paid back, that then TriStar becomes put in charge of Britney and gets paid on everything that she does over the next 13 years. That's awful. Ugh. So TriStar loans the money, gets the conservatorship, and then makes how many millions off of Britney over the next 13 years? Because we don't know that amount, because they've never said. Yikes. I saw this question from Sandy O'Brien. Why not ask James Spears to pick a date? They've said repeatedly that James Spears has not offered alternative dates. He's just said no and then not offered alternative dates. Did he use Britney's own money to imprison her? Oh, Misha, the whole conservatorship. He used Britney's money to pay his lawyers to fight against her. This case, of all the cases, makes me so angry. Just the fucking injustice of it all. There are plenty of cases of injustice, but it was behind closed doors, using a system that is meant to protect people who need protection, just abused in such a public way that no one could do anything. And then those that called out the fuckery early on were attacked, were silenced, were sent cease and desists, were, maligned in the media and marginalized. And the Free Britney movement was disparaged for years, until people started pulling up these court documents and going, there is something going on here. They knew years before. But you get a couple people making, death threats and stuff on the internet, and it allows a lot of people to be like, oh, they're all crazy, and just write them off, which is not the case. People knew. They were like, this is wrong. We know this is wrong. This is a great question. So when does the RICO case get filed? I think they're trying to get the investigation done. That's what they are looking for, is to get the investigation done. Man, oh man, oh man. Even as he hides from answering essential deposition questions concerning, among other things, the substantial pre-conservatorship loan he obtained from TriStar and whether it was used to implement the conservatorship, any and all other actual or apparent conflicts of interest, efforts to control his daughter via lithium, the spying operation alleged and exposed by the whistleblower, the New York Times, and how many of his daughter's private attorney-client privilege communications were contemporaneously captured and read, and to what end. All payments, TriStar, Black Box, and other third parties from his daughter's estate, the purpose of all such payments, and whether those purposes were concealed from the court. The total sums he paid himself and others. Oh, because as a conservator, he wrote himself in. He wrote himself in a 1% on her tours that he didn't even have any right to. He was self-dealing in this as well. Okay. Where I lost myself in the list because I got angry. Whether those purposes were concealed from the court, which is very interesting. The total sums he paid himself and others, the use or diversion of conservatorship resources for his own benefit, charging of the estate for certain costs and fees, including payment of Lou Taylor's personal legal fees, which we covered ages ago. I'm going to have to go find that link of when I covered the Lou Taylor litigation and pull it out and put it on Quick Bits, because we did cover it. It was buried in another filing, and I pulled it out. I'm like, wait, what? They're saying that Lou Taylor was going after a website and the owner of a website that was about her name and reputation. And the conservative Britney paid for it, paid for her legal fees, paid for Lou Taylor to go after someone in the Free Britney movement. What the fuck? And that was end of 2020. That's when it came to light. Using Britney's resources came to light to me to oppose or suppress the Free Britney movement, and his unexplained use of those funds generally and in connection with what the court correctly identified as the extraordinarily high expenses for the Louisiana residents, including payment to his son-in-law's company, Advanced Media Partners. Yeah, Jamie Lynn's husband got paid to do a bunch of work. Specifically, on October 1st, 2021, Britney Spears served Mr. Spears' then counsel at Hall & Knight with notice of deposition, setting it for October 20th. H&K requested an extension but failed to object to the notice. The extension was granted as a courtesy based on the understanding that Mr. Spears would abide by his legal and fiduciary obligations and appear. To account for his conduct under oath on cross-examination, despite two other notice depositions requiring him to appear, on November 10th and April 6th, he has failed to do so. So they have subpoenaed him to appear using the court. He's obligated to appear unless he opposes it in court and it's quashed. And so they are now going to the court saying, we keep subpoenaing him and he keeps failing to show up. WTF, now we need a court order. And then if he violates the court order, what we need is contempt of court to force him to do it. So now they are getting, mom, we told him to sit for the deposition. We did everything. We used our words. We used our subpoena powers, and he's still not doing it. So now it's coming in front of the court. The court is not going to be thrilled. In an effort to resolve the issue by email dated May 2nd, 2022, Spears was offered 8 dates. We went over the dates. Spears failed to select the dates, did not offer alternative dates or a justification for the stonewalling. Instead, he in effect sought an improper quid pro quo, seeking to barter his deposition for his daughters. What? She was the conservatee. She doesn't need to be deposed. We're already red. We can't go redder. Further, even as he failed to appear for deposition or produce documents and information in a timely, organized, professional manner, Mr. Spears is reported to serve his daughter 145 document requests and more than 75 other discovery requests. It's improper and abusive. Sadly, these tactics represent an effort, indeed a grotesque and diabolical strategy, to traumatize and bully his daughter, his own daughter, all in the hopes of intimidating and causing her duress. Well, that's what she has lawyers for. Rosengart can handle it. Rosengart's the fucking iceberg in this thing. And he's like, come at me, bro. Come on. The problem is Britney has spent so much money on every side of this. Millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars on every single side of this. And to continue to have to litigate like this is just awful. DEFCON Death Star. I don't think I can go DEFCON Death Star during the day. I'll try to go DEFCON Death Star during the day. But my window is going to prevent some of the DEFCON Death Starriness. But I will try. I will see how it works. We might just get me without my light. And then the light will be unbalanced. We'll see. Half of my face will be in the light. Half of my face will be in the dark. We'll be half Sith. It's not going to work the same way, but we'll see. I see you guys asking, why is this allowed? Well, they're saying to the court, it shouldn't be allowed. All right, we get half DEFCON Death Star. We've got too much daylight. If it was more overcast, it might work. This is it. Part Death Star. So, let's see. This is a lot of what was in the last motion, that he is not trying to protect his daughter. He is acting out of spite. He's a fiduciary. He should abide by his legal and moral obligations to his daughter and cooperate and tell the truth rather than fuckery and stonewalling. He should stop hiding. He should sit for the deposition and testify under oath. He should waive the Fifth Amendment. That's not going to happen. Oh, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. He is going to plead the Fifth if he goes to deposition. That's absolutely what his lawyers are going to tell him to do. I don't know how. He can't plead the Fifth to everything. He should transfer all his files in a coherent, organized manner. Yes. With Bates labels. Yes. Including all communications with counsel. Yes. He should do all of that. Procedural history. We've gone through that in the last motion. This is going through the court hearing. Let's see when we get to the end of this. So the court is trying to order this deposition. Let me see if the court has set this yet and then we're going to get to questions. Let me see if the court has set this yet for hearing. I'm going to be very interesting. I'm putting this on my calendar. I'll be very interested to see what happens. Then there is a notice of motion to compel with all of the documents. And then there is a separate motion in support. So there's a lot more information. I'm going to go through that. It's hundreds of pages and highlight anything we need. Let me go to see what date this has been put on. Do I have the Britney Spears case number memorized? Yes, it's one of the few ones. Occasionally I transpose the numbers, but generally I don't. All right. So I'm going to put my light back on real quick, just because. We're going to balance it back out. Oh, now it doesn't want to. Now it's like, no, we can't go back. You've gone DEFCON Death Star and we can't go back. So let's see. Next court date, 7/13 and 7/20 and 7/27. So there's a number of hearings set for this. So we'll see. We've got some stuff coming up in July and we'll see what the court does. Hopefully the courtroom is open and people are able to get there and see what happens. I'll look and see. I think I'm going to be in New York during a lot of those dates, or I anticipate being in New York in a lot of those dates. So there are some hearings coming up. We still have, in the Britney Spears case, we still have all of this nonsense with regard to discovery and subpoenas. We have the motions for attorney's fees that are still pending for Lynn Spears' attorneys, for James Spears' attorneys, for the fucking Media Matters. There is so much still happening. Britney is out of her conservatorship, but it's not done. It's just like the Depp case. Though the jury verdict is down, it's not done. It's going to be the same in the Duggar case. He's been sentenced, but the litigation isn't going to stop. It's just not done yet. So I have seen you guys in the chat. We're going to go to questions. I have questions. You have questions. We have questions. But I've heard there's an update on the Brown Rudnick website. We're going to go look. So that's where we're going first, and then we're going to answer questions. So put a Q or question marks. If you use too many caps, our Nightbot will swoop it, because caps are hard for me to read, especially live and to the public. I need the title case to break it down. So thank you for understanding that. And that's why I ask. A lot of the chat rules are just to make it easier for me as an ADHD creator, who's also dyslexic, to make sure that we have that. So I'm looking at the Brown Rudnick website. I don't see it on the website, but there's a downloadable. So this is the website announcement, but there's a downloadable press release. That should have a picture too. I saw one on, let's see, on the front page. If it's there, it's still not. I saw it on Twitter that had a photo. So we'll go look. But I saw it on Twitter. Of course, this is the thing on the top of their website, but I don't see it. It was on their Twitter. It had a photo of her. So we can go grab that. All right, let's get to questions. Could Judge Penny get annoyed at Elaine for her comments on the jury? Probably. Will she do anything? Probably not. But could she be annoyed? Yes. Elaine canceled an interview with Chanley of Court TV and had an urgent matter in court. Do you think she was told to stop her mini press tour? I mean, we haven't seen anything on the court docket that would indicate that. I don't even know if the court doesn't really have power over that unless there was an issue. And I don't see that there's been an issue. It might have been that it wasn't going well and she needed a reason to back out and was like, I've got an urgent matter. She has other cases. Their firm absolutely has other cases. And it could have just been that. Lori, I can't find where to subscribe. Please help. Over on YouTube at the Emily D. Baker. You can follow me on Facebook. I don't know where the little follow is. So let us get to questions. I'm going to try to get to as many as I can. When will you and Hogue collaborate so we can educate the sweet summer child on Girardi? I need to set down a time to do it. That would be a great midday stream. I need to make sure he has time. I know he's catching up on work, but we will do that soon. We'll do a bonus stream because we have so much to cover. We have so much to cover. Question, will you cover the UK case? Rosanna, I have a video on the channel and it's on the podcast breaking down the court's ruling. I want to go back and look at it in hindsight, but I do have it on the channel. So if you go to the channel and look at the Johnny Depp playlist, it should be on there. Let me go make sure it's there before I say it's there. Let me go make sure it's there before I say it's there. Let me go to my channel real quick. Your channel, playlists. Let's see. Depp versus Heard. And let me go see if it's on there. It should be. Let me go see if it should be one of the earliest ones. So yeah, lawyer reacts. This is, you can tell it's an old video. My hair's not purple. Hair's not purple at all. Or like under 80,000 some odd. The office has changed around a lot, but there we go. Lawyer reacts Johnny Depp UK Sun ruling. This is from before I changed the name of the podcast to The Emily Show, episode number 65. And then we can put that in the chat. So this is me breaking down the Sun UK ruling. And that's just breaking down the ruling. So that's there. It's an older episode. We need to go look at it with hindsight. So no question, just appreciate you being you. Thank you, Stitching with Sister Lilies. Answer, the Camille picture is in the people bit. I'm sure it is, but that's been there. That's not an update. Can James Spears receive criminal charges for his treatment of his daughter? I'm sure they've asked for an investigation to be started. That can be done. Darn it. I don't need to hear myself talk. Sorry. I went to pull that up and now I hear me talking, but we'll see. We'll see. I don't know what we will see. Is it possible? Yes, because when it's discovered, that's when we start forward. Prune, I'm sorry. I don't want to try to slaughter a last name. I will try, but I'm going to have to like space that out to pronounce it. So, Poon is what we're going with. P-U-E-N. I hope that's correct. Question, your take on the ACLU motion for Depp to pay for the document preparation fee and Depp's response. Haven't seen the response yet. If you guys want to, I think we should do that Friday. And we will do that on Friday. But it's not uncommon to ask for the cost of discovery for the party propounding the discovery. I think it was a bad idea. So I think it was a bad idea. I don't think the PR will go well. So let us keep going. Do I think Amber is going to appeal? Yes. Why? Because I think it's going to be an extended press tour. This is all the stuff you didn't hear about, public. This is all the stuff you don't know about. Do I think it'll go anywhere? We'll have to see. We have to see what the grounds are they file on, because my opinion might change once we see it. So we'll see. But yes. Hey, Emily, got my objection hearsay mug today. I love it. Currently drinking tea in it. Thanks. You're welcome, Lissa. I love that objection hearsay mug. And if you guys want your own, we're just going to, I love how colorful it is. We have a lot of merch that is kind of black and white. A lot of our stuff, we've got the black on black facts hat, but the mugs have been so fun. So these are at Law Nerd Shop. The link's down below. This water bottle, do I have mine in my office? Hold on. It's so cool in person. Not me rolling away. I had to steal this back from my kid. I need it. My chair doesn't want to come with me. Come on. My chair is like, we're done. It doesn't want to come with me. But this water bottle is so fun in person because the printing's so bright and it's got a little bit of 3D to it. The sublimation is just sublime. So love it. Are there Tati updates? Yes. Tati updates are Friday. I haven't gotten to read them all. So Tati updates Friday. There's a UK barrister on YouTube who says Johnny can get an appeal. He has a petition at change.org. I would need to go watch. I am definitely not an expert in how things work in the UK at all. I know that the appeals had previously been denied. I don't know if we're able to reopen them. I really want to know if it's able to be reopened. Unfortunately, this is a 20-ounce bottle. 17-ounce bottle, not a 20-ounce. I wish I had a bigger one. If I can source bigger ones, I will. I sourced stuff that would get to you fast. So, objection hearsay or coffee and cursey words mug. I have both. I need to make some of them more colorful though. So, I love them. Tati uploading an announcement video on Friday. I need to go look. There is definitely stuff that has happened. The Tati, his name is Black Belt Barrister. I will go look. Question, do you still play Pokemon? I am actually sunburnt over here from playing Pokemon Go Fest this weekend by myself in South Carolina. It was lovely. There was a pier area down by whatever the beautiful bridges with all the bridges. Those of you in South Carolina are like, we know what you mean, the bridge that goes like this. But there was a wharf area right down there that was so great for Pokemon. There was trees so I could cover and get under the trees when it started to drizzle. It was just lovely. I had a really lovely day just down by the water by myself, just having a minute to decompress. I got some shinies. It was great. So I was there and was there just having a decompress. It was really, really nice in Charleston. Yep. So got some shinies, had some fun, just... Did you see Johnny's TikTok? No. That's Ravel Bridge. Thank you all. Question, will you ever do a live with Salty? Yes, when he's done with all the things. So yes, the suspension bridge. It's beautiful. It was great. Black Belt Barrister was wanting to talk with you. I will find their channel and make sure we connect. All right, let's get back to some more questions. So let's see. I did get a shiny Axew. I did get a shiny Axew. I was very excited. What else did we get? I'm going to tell you real quick, and then we're going to get back to questions. Since these are the most important questions from my Pokemon Go playing peeps. Can we get a conversation? I will ask. Yes, I will always ask to have a conversation. I am opening my Pokemon Go right now because I need to go back and look because my brain has stopped. As you can tell, my brain has stopped. All of you are like, yeah, girl, we can see it. We can see it. Let me see. Who did we get? Let's go with recents. During the event, we got, stop it. My game is trying to update. A Shelmet, a shiny Clink, though I already had one. A Buizel, which was great. A Shroomish and the Axew. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But considering I didn't play this Go Fest as much as I played others, I'm not surprised. Real happy with what I got. real happy with this gold boy, like real happy with that bow. So, all right, now we're going to stop being nerdy. We're going to stop being nerdy. I will have to send out another round of friends. I've got to go look and make sure that I have room for friends. So don't worry. I will let my Pokemon Go playing law nerds, I will let you know. Do not fear. What is the time limit for Amber Heard's team to appeal? Well, once they file their notice of appeal, I would need to go look in Virginia, but normally once you file your notice of appeal, it's like 90 days to file it, but they've got time. I mean, there's no rush on that. They need to make sure all the transcripts are done. The court reporter in that case did so much work. And I saw people coming for her on the internet. I was like, I could not with my level of annoyance. The court reporter did such tremendous work, such a long trial, really fast transcripts, had the live transcription going for when they were up at the bench. So they've got to get all the transcripts and all that stuff together. So it'll happen if they want to file it, but we've got time. Congratulations to Camille for making partner. I know the law nerds are celebrating. We need to send Camille grumpy mugs. Should I just sound Brown Rudnick, grumpy mugs and objection hearsay mugs? I feel like we just have to. I think I might do that today. Just to their business address, just as a thank you for doing excellent work and being, thanks for being excellent. Emily, will you be covering the Valo Daybell murder trial? Please say yes. I don't know. I need to look at when it's going to go. I believe it's going to be televised. I have not decided yet. I want to go back and read some of the documents. I have not decided yet. It is, after all the work in criminal trials can be a bit harder for me to cover. I don't know. I just don't know. You guys are like, yes. Okay, I'll update you. Send it. We'll send the mugs. All right, send the mugs. The law nerds have agreed. Perfect. We will. We'll do the things. Question, even though it's been debunked, can you please explain how it was suggested that Amber Heard's homeowner's insurance would pay for her defense? Thank you. I haven't followed a ton of what's been going on the internet. So what I had heard was that her homeowners or umbrella policy might have paid for her lawyers. That can happen. There are umbrella policies that can cover you in legal fees if you're sued for something. They generally don't cover intentional acts. So if it's found that it's intentional and they did pay for your legal fees, you have to pay it back. So we will see what happens. But there are policies, umbrella policies, that can cover different types of lawsuits. If you're sued over a car accident, if you're sued over, different types of people getting injured or alleging, some of them are going to cover defamation. But if it's intentional, you generally have to pay them back if you're found to be responsible. So, Jolie Pitt Winery, we need to get back to it. I've got a bottle back there of Miraval. We need to get back to that case. I haven't pulled it up since this. So MCM, thank you so much. Congrats to Camille. I know we're all just congratulating Camille on the internet. Do you think JD should file for an appeal if Heard does? I don't know what the grounds would be for Depp to file an appeal. I mean, I would leave it alone, especially if their argument is she should be leaving it alone. I don't know if he even wants to. Just be done. There was evidence kept out on both sides. Those are the rules of evidence. Look, that's what they do. It's what the evidence book does. It lets in evidence that meets the rules of evidence. Not all evidence comes in. Not all things that somebody might want to be evidence are evidence. So no, I don't think he should. I think he should just respond to her appeal and be on the defensive and not counter appeal. Doesn't she have to put up a bond for appeal generally? But if they want to allow the interest to keep accruing, I don't know if they have to. I need to ask Rob how that works in his jurisdiction. Marley McClure, hello. Watched Up and Adam. Why did you say that you thought JD was also abusive? Kind of perturbed me because I never saw any of that language. Yes, but emails weren't to Amber Heard. Cupboard slamming when upset. I think that the jury can find that as abusive behavior. I absolutely do. The jury could have found all of those things to have been indicia of abusiveness. Abusive in the context of this defamation case goes beyond physical abuse. And so the jury could have found that. And I think that some of that language is absolutely abusive language. But was that reactive, not reactive? We don't know all of the context. I think the jury could have found, again, I said at the beginning, I think the jury could easily find no one defamed each other because this was a mutually abusive relationship. Does that mean physically abusive? No. And the jury obviously didn't find that there. So, but I think that some of the texts weren't sent to her, but the arguments and the language and stuff, yeah, I do think a jury could have found that that was abusive. I think there were things in this relationship that weren't great on either side. So didn't mean to perturb, but those are my thoughts. And the jury could have absolutely found it. Have you seen the hashtag? I'm not going to say that because YouTube will freak, where people inflict. I think that that's awful. I have not seen that. And when we talk about the dark sides of the internet, that feels trying to say, look, this is what we're doing in support feels manipulative. And I hope that people don't do that. Steve says, is it true that Amber needs to put up a bond for the amount of the judgment in order to appeal? Their general appeals require appeal bonds. Those, they can ask for the amount of the appeal bond to be limited. We saw that in, which case did we see the appeal bond reduced for? Haley Page. There was an appeal bond that was reduced. So we can see appeal bonds be reduced by the court. They might ask for that. And it just depends. If the appeal bond is needed in the full amount of the judgment to stay interest, there might be a reduced appeal bond to allow for the appeal without putting up the full amount. We'll just see what the court does. So we're going to wait for the court filings. What's your opinion when people compare this with the UK verdict? That they don't understand the UK case. Did you get a poster from the concert? I love the Pirate Run. Return of the Zach. I got both nights posters and I'm stoked. And the Pirate one is going on this wall. And then I'm going to put the other one over on that wall. I have a lot of Dave posters, but I need to put some more soundproofing in the office for some other things I want to do. So where I'm going to put the posters, I'm going to have to put some soundproofing up and then put the posters up, but I'm putting one over there. So yes, I got both. The Pirate one was great. Question, will you be following the Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie trial over the winery? I think we're a long way from trial, but I have been following it. I have one episode on it and we need to circle back. Sorry for being a noob. Don't apologize for being a noob. Hilmer, noobs are always welcome. Always good questions. What's a conservatorship? It is a legal designation taking the legal rights away from an adult human so that someone else is making their financial and or medical and or both decisions, generally due to incapacity in some way, dementia being one of them. When someone cannot make their own medical or financial decisions because they are subject to undue influence, abuse, etc. I need to look back. I've seen reporting that they did put Wendy Williams in a financial conservatorship in New York. I have a lot of questions about that. They locked that procedure down so fast. And this is why when I rant about transparency in the courts, like we want to know what's going on with Wendy Williams. She is saying that this shouldn't be happening. And I don't need to know all of her private medical information, but I want to see what's being filed. It got locked down real fast, her fight with Wells Fargo. So that's generally what a conservatorship is, sometimes called a guardianship. It is putting an adult in charge of another adult with legal rights. Hold on. I need to see what this is because it's very rare that Dr. B calls me at this time of day. Dr. B, I'm still streaming. Is everything okay? Can I call you back? I mean, how long have I've only been streaming 2 hours. This is short. At 11. Okay, I'll call you back. Okay, bye. Dr. B says hello. I just want to make sure everything's fine. Do you think Girardi's health is why it took so long to disbar him? No, the bar takes that long. What took so long for it to come forward at the beginning is odd to me. But no, I don't think his health is what did it. I think it just takes that long. Wendy Wickett, we love you. Thank you. Do you think Umbridge's behavior will hurt her career? Some of her colleagues have lost a lot of respect and sympathy for her. I think the media tour is kind of the final nail in this. And I'll say, well, I should go into why I think that. I think there's a lot of room for, I don't know, grace when it comes to potentially having a difficult client in a high profile case with the media in the courtroom. I think there's room for grace in that. We saw Ian Runkle give more grace than I was willing to, because he is too pure for the internet, and was very kind. And was like, look, she likely has a difficult client directing things. This is a big deal. Her performance in court was not great most of the time. From the wandering and disjointed opening statements to the inability to redirect and say, on direct, you were asked about this and you said this. What did you mean by that? Just not doing well. But the doubling down on the media tour and blaming the jury, blaming the judge, saying, but you don't know all this evidence. Well, if it's proper evidence, it should be in court. And if you didn't get the evidence in court, then that's your bad, because that's your job. It is your job to do the lawyer things, get your evidence into court. And I think that the way she went about some of that spin is distasteful. And that might have been better served by a PR person, but I think they want to try to still get the litigation privilege covering some of the statements. And I think that there was a way to do it. She could have asked Yvette questions. They wanted to know, look, the jury didn't believe your client. Now what? If she just wanted to make a statement or release a press release, they could have just released a press release. They have the platform to do so. People would have picked it up and reported on it. Amber Heard is devastated by this loss, worried about the implication to women everywhere. Notice they didn't say victims everywhere. They said women everywhere, continuing to try to gender this case. The implication for women everywhere, the heartbreak of seeing this case win in the UK and not seeing it win here. We will be appealing. We feel that this case goes against the First Amendment and flies in the face of the free speech that we all hold so dear. They could have done that, but they didn't. She went on morning show after morning show to say, this is a travesty and this is this. And Amber Heard was demonized and they demonized the victim. And that's not what happened here. And undercutting the jury and undercutting the legal system and calling into question the verdict, some of that stuff is distasteful. So, have you been following the Todd Chrisley case? I've been following the Chrisley YouTuber defamation case. I have not followed the US case. I plan to jump in and see what's going on in federal court down in Georgia. Again, we have to rely on reporting coming out of the courtroom, and that's hard. So what does being a partner entail? Janice, I think we answered some of this earlier, but A, esteem within your field, but B, profit sharing and things like that, depending on how the partnership is set up. Hogue Law is the perfect person to chat with about that more. I did not work in that type of big law. I have friends that do, but there's a lot that comes with it, different types of assignments, a little bit more freedom and autonomy in your career. It's a big promotion. So I think we just answered Chrisley. I need to look at the reporting coming out of it. Humanoid. Did anyone else clock how beaten down JD looks at the beginning of the trial and how much happier and healthier he looked at the end? Thank you to his team for taking such good care of him. The clips of them making sure he's okay. They had his back. And the thing that I think is different, I don't think that Amber Heard trusted her legal team. And I don't know how much they trusted her. But it seemed that Johnny Depp put his entire faith and trust into his legal team and let them do his job or let them do their job. And that makes a very big difference. His team worked with the trust of one another and clearly the trust of their client. Johnny Depp would get snappy with Rottenborn, and this has been years of them litigating against each other, but he trusted his attorneys when they asked him questions, and he trusted his attorneys to have their back. There were times it felt like Amber Heard was actually fighting with her questioning attorney on the stand, and it made it real awkward. It was just like, I don't even want to watch this. Like, just the push between each other, and Amber Heard trying to give her narrative and not just answer the question she was asked. We didn't see that with Depp. We did see him wander in the way he answered questions, but his attorney always brought it back around. So I think there was a lack of trust there. Life with Gigi. I love how you always say, oh, Elaine. I mean, Elaine. It's never going to die. Did you see the article Dr. Spiegel wrote about his experience? Susan, what? No, I didn't. No, I did. I'm making a note. Did he find Perry the Platypus at the end? And while I will not make fun of the parties involved in this case, when you're a paid expert and you know what you're signing up for, I did not see that. I feel like another I Have Thoughts episode coming on. Who decides the appeal on the Depp Heard case? Hollister, the appellate court. So they are going to appeal up to the appellate level court, and then they can go up to the state Supreme Court. This is a state level case, so the state court of appeals. And they will decide, one, if they accept the appeal, and then go from there. So we will go through the appellate process. Do not worry. Question, do you think it's odd that Amber stayed at $22,500 home when she hasn't donated and knew she might lose and owe Johnny money? Seems excessive. I don't know, because I've also heard again that Depp was staying, him and his entire legal team were staying at the, were they staying at the Four Seasons, the Ritz, something roughly $1,000 a night. So they were spending $30,000 a month. I don't know. I don't know who she needed to have in the home. It seems like a lot of a monthly rent, but I don't know how many people were staying in the home. If she had her kiddo with her, care for kiddo, I don't know how many people were staying there. It seems like a lot to me, but I also don't know how much it would cost to do kind of a month-to-month rental. I don't know. Seems like a lot, but choices were made. Is Ben Shu's interview on Court TV for the first of Depp's team? Depp's team made a quick statement after the verdict, but they haven't done anything else. So at the end of the verdict, they came out and made a statement, and that was it. Was Britney's trial live streamed? No. Britney's trial was locked down except for the one hearing where we had audio. Why doesn't Britney have a restraining order on her violent, abusive father? I don't think he has any way to access her. I don't know if a restraining order is needed. And all of the things that they are complaining of right now are things that happened in the past. I don't see anything current. They are, of course, alleging that the abuse of the discovery process, et cetera, is abusive, but not in the way that a restraining order would rectify. I don't think he has any access to her, and I hope not. She's got access to an attorney that's on her side, et cetera. So I think she is good. Spiegel couldn't even define correlation versus causation. It was embarrassing. This is like basic logic. Oh dear. Oh dear. Sue said, I never imagined I would be more inclined to believe social media over mainstream, objective classic news, yet here I am. Why is mainstream media or legacy media minimizing the validity of the verdict? What can they gain? I don't know. I lean into Hogue Law when he breaks down media. I have not worked in media. I have not worked in newsrooms. I look for people who have done that work or have a better handle on that work to explain why. I don't understand why legacy media does things the way they do. I don't understand how narratives get pushed. I don't understand which corporation owns which outlet and what interest there might be. So anything is A, my opinion, and B, speculative. So it's really hard for me to say. I kind of call what I see, but I don't understand the motivation behind it. I truly don't. And I will be like, hey, that headline doesn't go along with what I saw. I'm more disappointed that we can't find a place to just have news. Like, we're just the news presenters. This thing happened. I've appeared on media now, internationally, from Sky News to Today FM in New Zealand to BBC, Times Radio London, and their news presenters are like, today this thing happened. And now we're at the top of the hour. And then this thing happened. And then this other thing happened. And I'm seeing a lack of that in the US news. Where are the news presenters saying, these are the things that happened? And then You have plenty of shows that will give you opinion. You have talking head shows all day long that will give you opinion. And watch the opinion shows for opinion and watch the news shows for the news shows. But they've all gotten conflated so that the news and the opinion are all the things. And I would like to know where the facts are. And then if I want to go see your opinion, I will go find your opinion. There's plenty of opinion. There are morning talk shows. There are news talk shows. There are talk shows everywhere with opinion. I want to know what happened. Can you just tell me what happened? So I don't know. And the reason I am trying to say and trying to switch away from mainstream media to legacy media is because I found mainstream media got very politicized. And when I say mainstream media, I'm not saying media leaning one way or the other. I appreciate that at least with media, we know where it's leaning and you can choose going, hey, I know this, I know that. But legacy media kind of encompasses all of it. And I want to see all of it. I mean, if you guys want the court, we have the court, we can watch the witnesses and then also give commentary. When what I see happening is like, this witness said this, great. When I tell you my opinion or my feelings about it, I'm going to say, this is how I feel about this. This is what I think. And this is the potential strategy. I'm just not seeing any neutrality anymore. And I think that that's a problem, a big problem. So yeah. Catherine K. question, could the testimony of Dr. Curry regarding Amber Heard's mental health diagnosis be what Elaine considered demonizing? It seemed like accurate diagnosis, but it did skew the way I saw Amber Heard in all of this. I guess it could be for Elaine, but when they talk about demonizing somebody, I just had a larger, I don't know, conception of that than just saying, here's the expert. You put your mental health at issue, so here's the expert on the other side of it. For me, but it's absolutely possible. Question, can she get all the money back? Is it likely? For Britney Spears, I worry. I think she just wants someone to say she's entitled to it. I don't know if she'll get it back. But I think Britney deserves someone to say what happened to you is wrong. Like on a real big scale. And this money that was taken from you was wrong. And what your experience was happened. And it was wrong. The fact that Britney Spears survived 13 years of gaslighting in this conservatorship is a tremendous, tremendous showing of just human strength and perseverance. And it's looking back at the court documents and then hearing her own statements about stuff. It's just, it's truly heartbreaking. What is her mother seeking legal fees for? For intervening in the conservatorship. Mm-hmm. That's on the channel too. Libba the Great said, is there not such a thing as contempt of court for refusing to respond to a subpoena in a civil case? There is. And that is why they are trying to have the court order him to sit for a deposition and then seek contempt of court after if he doesn't. So there is. Emily, they listen. Camille's pick is up on the page and it's big. All right. I've got to go to her page on Brown Rudnick because I want to see it. It's probably under this page. This is her partner page. It now says partner on her page. I don't want to put it up too much. Well, it says partner with her photo, but I don't see it elsewhere. Also, I'm sure everyone's glad to be home. It must be so weird living in another state for the length of this trial and having to it's so weird. So under people, all of the firm is photoed there too, but I don't. Yeah. So, how do you make someone go to court? Sky, it's a great question. Generally by subpoena. Subpoenas are issued with the power of the court, and the court has the power to enforce them and can say, do this, do this. So that's what. Becky said Britney was kept in that conservatorship way too long. Her parents lived off her and wanted to continue. It sure seems like it. It's disheartening. It really is. On the firm's IG page. Perfect. Good. I'm over opinion programs masquerading as fact. Me too. I don't mind opinion. If I want to see opinion, I will absolutely lean into opinion pieces. But if I just want to know what happened, why can't you just tell me what happened? What happened? How much is gas? I don't want to know why. I just want to know how much it is. If I want to go know why, I'll go find why. So we'll see. More questions. How is evidence not allowed? How does that work? I hope to interview you one day. Well, thank you. You're such a badass chick. Thank you, Boo Friedman. We have our schedule's been a little full, but it's good. We're working on it. How is evidence not allowed? So the rules of evidence are exactly that. They are rules. Without getting into the entire year of evidence class, our legal system has constitutional rights and protections and underpinnings that dictate the way that trials will go. The rights that you have in a trial, the rights of evidence, and the rules of evidence go to making sure that the evidence presented in court is reliable, that the right of confrontation is not undercut, and you have the right to see the person accusing you of something. This is not, the witch trials of just anyone can say anything and then you get put on trial and, drowned. It's the right to see the person saying the thing against you. The witness saying, I saw this person running down the street from that direction to that direction. They were about this tall. They looked like that person over there. That's it. That's what I saw. And then another witness saying, I was at this location and this person did this. And then they went running and I saw them go that way. And you build a case based on eyewitness testimony and other testimony. But what you can't get is a text from, me to somebody else saying, oh my God, did you hear blah, 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 blah. And then that third party text ends up in. You have to have me, the speaker, come in and I have to have witnessed it. It can't be, oh, well, so-and-so told me this. Trial can't be a game of telephone. And so making sure that evidence is reliable, authentic, and meets the rules of evidence to actually be evidence is a lot of what lawyers spend their time doing. This is reliable evidence. It can come in, especially when you get to documentary evidence. So her picture's up there. I'm glad. Camille's picture's everywhere. Question regarding Amber Heard. Why at this point, if what she is claiming is true, are they still having to litigate and go to court? Why not press criminal charges? Why not press criminal charges? The statute of limitations for everything that Amber Heard talked about has passed. And I'm never going to fault someone for not pressing criminal charges. Pressing criminal charges isn't the kind of end all be all. Lots and lots of victims do not pursue criminal charges. Lots. The criminal system's not easy to work through. It definitely isn't. And it can feel just as dehumanizing as the thing that the person has gone through. It is not easy at all. But they're still going to litigate this. This is where we're at. Statute of limitations has passed. Do you think a judge would have agreed with it? Do you think a judge would have agreed with the jury? Judges generally will either understand a jury or not, but it seemed like the court reporter agreed, and court reporters are a great source of information. When you want to know how your witnesses are doing in a trial, young lawyers everywhere, aspiring litigators, be friends with the court staff. They will tell you if they don't believe your witness. They will tell you if you've left something out and they don't understand. They will be your friends if you are kind to them. Lawyers that come in too hot and treat the court staff like they're their own staff and treat them crappy is never going to go well. But court staff, those who work in the courtroom day in and day out, have a great BS detector, and they can be invaluable, especially if you are growing your practice. Knowing what your court clerk, court reporter, bailiffs have to say after a trial can be really good feedback to allow you to grow as an attorney. So, that. How did Johnny Depp choose Brown Rudnick? I have no idea, Grandma Cranky. I don't know. I would imagine referral, interview. I don't know. I hope we find out one day, but I don't know. Will you cover Alex Murdaugh, lawyer in South Carolina? I have a few episodes of The Emily Show about it on the channel and on the podcast, on your favorite podcast players. I will be swinging back to it. It's wild. It's like true crime meets like legal impropriety meets all kinds of stuff, and stuff I wish we had seen in the Girardi case. When it came to light that that Alex Murdaugh had apparently taken client funds, the law firm put a statement up saying, hey, this is fucked. We're paying back the clients and we're suing him. And then the law firm sued him to try to recover the funds. And then there's like a murder for hire plot. It's wild. Wild. Wild, 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 wild. So yes. What's to keep him from pleading the fifth? Nothing. To all Depo questions, you can't plead the fifth to everything. Should this become court ordered? Thanks for all you do. He will plead the fifth to certain things that can implicate him, but he can't plead the fifth to everything. It'll have to go question by question. He'll have to sit there and go question by question. Would she ever be able to have a live court? For Britney, no. What are the real life repercussions for not allowing a court order, such as responding to a subpoena, failing to give a deposition, produce evidence? How does the court enforce this? Contempt of court, which can be fines and or jail time. They can order a bench warrant for you and try to put you in jail for contempt of court. They can fine you. So those are your big ones. It's a thing. Why is this civil, not criminal? If we're talking about Britney Spears, I think this is from when we were talking about Britney Spears, because it has to do with the conservatorship and the turnover of documents from the conservatorship. Are you going to cover the Johnny Depp versus Greg Brooks case? There is proof Brooks lied. Camille Vasquez will be one of Depp's attorneys. I have not even heard of the Johnny Depp versus Greg Brooks case. Is that the case where he alleged that Johnny Depp hit him? I mean, I'll take a look at it. We're going to take a look at all the things. I want to look at the ACLU case more. Who is being charged with RICO? Sorry, I'm new to some of these cases. No one yet. Well, no one yet that we're looking at. There's a Young Thug RICO case I haven't had a chance to look at. There's questions about whether or not the Spears conservatorship will be a RICO case. There is questions about whether or not there will be a RICO element to the Girardi case in a pre-filing that we saw from Edelson PC. So RICO's always in the air. It's what's coming in the air tonight. So RICO is what it is. Question, are you going to be highlighting the Deshaun Watson case? I have not looked at it yet. I have not looked at it yet at all. So sports ball aren't always the first cases I looked at, but I will look at it. I have not looked at it yet. Dana said, I love listening to your breakdowns of trials. Is there an interesting case in the past that I should check out? Oh yeah. Colin the Caterpillar. Start with Colin and Cuthbert. If you guys have not watched coverage on Colin and Cuthbert, watch coverage on Colin and Cuthbert. Question, how can we send Camille congratulations muffins? I feel like they would get a laugh. They might be nervous about food that's been sent over the internet given the high profile nature of this case. But I'm going to send mugs. Lawnards, I'll let you know what I send. They're going to be from all of us, not just from me, from the Lawnards. You guys have been so generous in supporting me as we've been doing this. So we will send it from the Lawnards. We will do that. So Colin and Cuthbert are fun. And then chat, you can let everyone know what your favorite cases are. What does Dr. B think about all the celebrity legal dramas? When I shifted into just doing pop culture stuff because I like it the most, he was like, what happens when you run out of stuff to talk about? And I was like, is that a thing? And so now every now and then I'm like, there's too much to talk about. I need to triplicate myself. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah. So, but I like talking about it. So I like talking about it. Tina said, question, can we have a conversation with you and the Black Belt Barrister to compare the US and UK trials? I will look at the Black Belt Barrister's content and reach out for sure. Can you make a shirt mug that says, don't make me go Camille Vasquez on you? I feel like if Camille wants to make merch with her name on it, I tend to stick away from stuff with people's names on them and do stuff that's lightly adjacent to the trial. Kimberly said, question, why didn't Johnny Depp's team spin the Molly text as an MDMA need want take reference? It was the only essay suggestion other than her testimony and could have been thwarted. I don't know what happened with all of that. I really don't know why. It looked like those texts were incoming, not outgoing. Like, I don't know why all of that didn't go differently. I don't know. Maybe we'll get an answer someday. But I don't know. Maybe it was that the jury was already done. I mean, some of those are strategic decisions. It might have been that the jury was just like, fuck it, I'm over it. Can you reach out to Camille and Dr. Curry to talk about their career? I would love to. Antisocial. And yes, it is. I would love to have both of them on and talk about their careers, their experiences, and just talk about what it was like for them with the media and knowing how much media there was, I would love to have that conversation. But no, I would never ask them about case specifics. They can't talk about it. So, Grand Pope of Sporks, why wasn't she protected by the Lantham Act? Lanterman Act. Are we talking about Amber Heard or Britney? And if we're talking about Britney, I don't know. So, question, can we discuss Up and Adam's special interview after it happens? Yes. Super excited and proud he landed that guest. It's going to be good. Me too. So for all of you that follow the pop culture-y things with me, I'm going to give a shout out to my friend's channel, Up and Adam. I'm going to show you what is coming up. Adam covers Housewives and Bravo stuff. So the exclusive interview trailer is up, but what is coming up on June 8th, tomorrow, let me make this big. Can I make it big? No, because the chat's on. I can't make it any bigger. But what is coming up is an exclusive interview, The Real Jen Shah, part 1 of 2. So coming up tomorrow, I will share that down in the chat for all of you. So if you want to see that, that's going to be premiering tomorrow. I'm very excited. So yes, we can discuss it after it happens. I'm very interested to see what Jen Shah says. I've been needing to jump back into her case that looks like it's set for July 18th. Question, I hear a lot of people say the jury was clearly influenced by external factors because they were unsequestered. What are your thoughts on this? I haven't seen any evidence of that. There was a lot of court of public opinion that came into this trial based on Amber Heard's own legal team. So they introduced hashtag justice for Johnny Depp. They can't have it both ways. They said, they elicited from Amber Heard, hey, what's been happening to you? And she's like, they're making fun of my testimony. They're doing this. They elicited all of that from her. And then it'd be like, oh, the jury was swayed by what's going on outside. How? Like how? Even if, if they were saying, oh, the stuff outside the courthouse might have swayed them, that's different than saying, obviously, these jurors, these humans just disregarded all the court's orders, didn't take anything seriously because we don't agree with them. I don't think that's fair. Marlena, question, fair to say he sold his own daughter to TriStar? That's what these legal motions are implying with regard to James Spears. What do you think the most important lesson that law students can learn from the Depp Heard case is? Most important. Be prepared if you're doing a media case, that you need to know what your client's going to say when they testify. And you need to be prepared to deal with that. That a good cross-examination can be simple and effective. Keep your questions short. And you need to be able to think on your feet if you want to be a litigator. And you need to practice that in law school. Raise your hand. Get into class discussions. Get things wrong. Learn and practice. Learning to think on your feet is not an easy skill. It is aggravated by things like exhaustion, dehydration, lack of caffeine, but taking every opportunity you can, if you want to be a litigator, to practice being on your feet and thinking on your feet. If you don't want to be a litigator, that's also okay. There are lawyers needed to do everything. And being a lawyer is a really powerful thing. So with great power comes great responsibility. Don't be a Tom Girardi. Misopinionated Emily, licensed insurance lady, per Travelers Insurance. She used part 2 of her homeowner's policy, which includes liability. They were in the courtroom. Homeowner's liability will pay for legal bills, not the summary judgment. Thank you, Misopinionated, from a licensed insurance lady. The thing is, once they're found to be responsible for willful torts, I just wonder what will happen after that. But it's nice to know they were in the courtroom. What do you think of Amber's supporters targeting and harassing Judy? The same thing I think of Depp supporters targeting and harassing supporters of Amber Heard. I think all of it sucks. I think it sucks. And I also think for the Heard supporters that are trying to call out the court reporter, they're the same supporters that are calling out Depp supporters for coming after them. Like, it's two sides of the same coin. All of it sucks. Don't do it. I think I talked about why I say legacy media, pirate dragon turtle with Puss in Boots. I love that. Yeah. We need objection, what if any? What if? Objection, what if? What if any is not a cure-all? Gina said mainstream media has cognitive dissonance. The more facts presented against them, the harder they dig in. Emily, thank you for being you. You're welcome. I like doing what I do. Rebecca said, hi, Emily, new to your channel, loving your content and insight. Thank you. Do you enjoy watching true crime? I don't watch a ton of true crime just based on my former work. I like limited series. I really enjoyed Inventing Anna. I like the limited series. And I like the fraud stuff. Like I loved, was it McMillions? I loved it. I think it was called Millions. Loved TV series. I think it was on Netflix. It was so freaking good about the people who were defrauding the McDonald's Monopoly game. So freaking good. So when I get into crime stuff, I tend to lean in the fraud direction because that's the stuff I love. And there are certain types of crimes that I still find triggering based on the work that I did for so long. And I try not to put myself in a downward spiral of stuff that makes me super sad. It's why I covered some of the Gabby Petito stuff where I could give, McMillions was HBO, thank you, where I could give insight as a former prosecutor, but not covering the day in, day out of it because it's just too tragic. So I make those decisions based on what I can cover and lend help to, but I tend to lean into fraud. As always, Emily, working for her white collar crime professor in law school, I am fascinated by intellectual crimes. I mean, the more traditional crimes, kind of the assaultive crimes, the crimes of passion. It's always interesting to understand how people work, but the fraud crimes, there's just so much more to it. So, B117 said, do you think the Depp Heard case will have a suppressing effect on survivors speaking about their experiences or a boost to male survivors coming forward, especially given the legal avenue revealed? I hope it has a suppressing effect on people who aren't telling the truth. This case has shown both sides of it, that if you tell your truth, you'll be believed. If you believe Johnny Depp, this case showed when you tell your truth, against all odds, you will be believed. Because Amber Heard leaned into societal tropes to say, tell a judge, tell a jury who will believe you. And I hope that it gives a voice to all of the victims who hear that from their abusers. Their abusers going, go ahead, who's going to believe you? Well, Johnny Depp was believed. And I don't think that's gendered because there are plenty of females who are abused, whose abusers have positions of power, who are in professions of power, who say, go ahead, I'm well respected. Who's going to believe you anyway? Well, that's what Johnny Depp was told too. And he was believed. So I hope that it empowers people who are telling the truth to have a voice to tell the truth, because we believe survivors. We believe victims. We believe people when they tell us their stories. And then when there are questions, we ask questions. That doesn't mean we disbelieve. That means we can ask questions. And there should be a process where you take allegations of abuse seriously and then also ask questions if there are questions. That's not believing people. Allegations should be taken seriously. So hopefully that makes sense. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Casey said there is a fantastic follow-up podcast to McMillions with additional interviews. Ooh, amazing. I want to go. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. Loved McMillions. I loved McMillions. And Holly, I've seen this too. I'm so annoyed with the media saying survivors everywhere are saying that they are devastated by this ruling. We had over 300,000 people in this chat some days, hundreds of thousands other days, thousands of survivors saying, I related to Johnny Depp, not to Amber Heard. Thousands of you saying, I see my abuser's behavior in Amber Heard, not in Johnny Depp. And the media discrediting all of those experiences, I think, is more chilling than the verdict in this case. The verdict in this case was you can be believed when you speak the truth, no matter how long it takes. That's how I say it. That's how I say it. Will the Washington Post have to remove the op-ed? Lana, you asked a great question. I'm going to swoop real quick. I gave comment about this this weekend. I didn't realize this had happened. Give me 1 second. Should I have covered this earlier in quick bits? Yep. Did I forget? Also, yep. This is a great question. Thank you. I'm going to swoop real quick. We're going to talk about the Washington Post op-ed real fast, just real fast. Swoop. This is why you stay late in the show. Replay crew, you've gotten here. Love you. Here's what happened. The Washington Post updated the op-ed. This article was published more than 3 years ago. Opinion, Amber Heard, I spoke up against SV and faced our culture's wrath. That has to change. By Amber Heard, December 18th, 5:58 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Editor's note, June 2nd, 2022. In January 2019, Johnny Depp sued Amber Heard for defamation arising out of this 2018 op-ed. June 1st, 2022, following a trial in Fairfax County, Virginia Circuit Court, a jury found Heard liable on 3 counts for the following statements, which Depp claimed were false and defamatory. Well, which the jury found. He claimed they were false, but the jury also agreed. 1, I spoke up against SV and faced our culture's wrath. That has to change. 2, then 2 years ago, I became a public figure representing domestic abuse, and I felt the full force of our culture's wrath for women who speak out. 3, I had the rare vantage point of seeing in real time how institutions protect men accused of abuse. The jury separately found that Depp, through his lawyer Adam Waldman, defamed Heard in 1 of 3 counts in her countersuit. So this is their update. Amber Heard is an actress and ambassador on women's rights at the ACLU. So this is their update. That's their update. I think this language maybe isn't strong enough, which a jury found Heard liable on 3 counts for the following statements, which Depp claimed and the jury found were false and defamatory. I think it kind of softens the blow a little. But they did specify the 3 statements. I think it's interesting that we have this still up so that people have context for the trial. And I wonder how Johnny Depp's team feels about it, but I think this gives context to the trial. And they said, look, this was found to be defamatory. This is the whole context. So there we go. They left it up. We're going to get to a few more questions. And then, it's been 2.5 hours. And then I'm going to have to go eat. I'm going to have to go do that and call Dr. B back. So I don't know if Depp wants it removed. It gives context to what was said about him. And I think sometimes just removing the things that we don't like doesn't help. I hope that this gives context. So they have it with the note. They didn't retract it. They said, this is what a jury found. I think it's a fair update. So I think they could have said more strongly that the jury found those statements. They very softly said a jury found Heard liable. And then they linked this article. So let me go back. When they linked this, the article is jury rules actors Depp and Heard defamed each other. They definitely have a softer stance on this case. This is literally true. Literally true. Johnny Depp is awarded $15 million in damages in a lawsuit against his ex-wife. Jurors also found for part of her counterclaim awarding $2 million. Literally true. Literally true. They did, in fact, defame each other. All right. I'm going to get to just a few more questions, and then we are going to go. Water. So I like that they left it up too, Hazel. Sorry. I think they could have more strongly said what liability means. But I think it's important for context. I really do think it's important for context. But I think it's very important that they updated it. So. All right. Let us go to the last few questions. If you guys submit stuff now, I don't know if I'll be able to get it. I will try. Amy Yost, good to see you, lady. June 1st was my 40th birthday. Happy birthday. The verdict was the icing on the cake for me. As always, thanks for the fabulous live streams during the trial. You're welcome. Cheers. Happy birthday. K-Comp, do you have advice for how to pick a good lawyer? Ask other lawyers if you can. Ask people who've worked with the lawyers. Look for people who know them. Ask in your local area. Ask. Recommendations, word of mouth is the best. Alan Atkins said, what is the likelihood of Johnny Depp team using Doug Stanhope as leverage against Amber Heard to prevent further defamation. Stanhope wrote the 2016 anti-AH article. I know not enough about that to give comment on it. I don't know. I think they could go the route that Cardi B's team went and look for an injunction against these statements to prevent her from restating these things. Because if she's judgment proof, let's just go with Amber Heard has no money, can't get blood from a stone, there's nothing there. What's to stop her from doing it again and being like, go ahead. So, Rippin'. Did you see that they did an art show recently for Anna Sorokin? And now the lady that put it together is upset that she's not getting paid for it. Like, what did you expect? I didn't see that. That is a buyer beware, caveat emptor. You were on notice that she's not going to pay. She's like, do you accept a wire transfer? No. Yikes. That's funny. I'll go look for that. Question. Ginger, I just want you to know that this is the first time I've posted and I wish it was more. No, thank you. Thank you. I try to get to super chats and non-super chats and members and non-members to get all of the questions. Can Heard file bankruptcy to avoid paying what she owes? Ginger, she can avoid paying what she owes to the lawyers, but if they were paid by insurance, then that's probably done. But this judgment against her from this trial cannot be discharged in bankruptcy because it was a willful, intentional tort. Are you concerned legacy media puppeteers will attempt to shut down televised trials? I hope that the Constitution is stronger than that because our courtrooms are supposed to be open. And I hope that we see media outlets like, Law and Crime, though I will say things about them when they make improper copyright claims, but we see larger media outlets, and who knows, maybe I will be able to be one of them, push back and fight to have cameras in the courtroom because legacy media isn't needed. Court TV is like, we got our own cameras, bitches. We're going to put them in the courtroom. We won the pool. We'll do that. So as long as there is choice and a variety of outlets, I mean, wouldn't it be great if all the law tubers could just pull together and be like, we'll do the pool cameras. Fuck it. We'll figure it out. We will figure it out. I'm down for it. And to be able to have people in courtrooms and to be able to make content like this allows content creators to take the time to go to the courtrooms. It's like, no, I'm not missing work. This is my work. So if I need to be in a courtroom to actually tell you what's actually happening, y'all's support allows me to do that. And then we get to decide together, what do we want to shed light on? And I think the answer is the Jen Shah trap. My mugs arrived yesterday. Ordered a t-shirt as well. Currently listening to you while I walk my dog. Keep the great coverage. Thank you, Sue. Did I make a decision on Cameo? Homeschool Mama. A lot of you asked for Cameo. I have to talk to my team and make sure. I'm not going to sign up for it because ADHD until I am sure I can fulfill the requests that come in. Vamp Faye question. Does that mean you should bring your court reporter muffins? Yes. Court staff loves food. You should absolutely feed the court staff. I used to bring donuts and bagels. We would bring stuff after trials to the court staff. We would bring stuff to the office for those that had supported us during trial. Bagels and muffins were popular. I wish there were days that people would cater breakfast to the office and invite the court staff in, like eggs, bacon, like full, God, I'm hungry, full breakfast to thank everyone who supported through long trials. So it just depends on the courthouse and where you work and how much you work. Law Nerds Media, let's get the cameras in. I mean, we could probably, at this point, I think we could kind of do it. Will Johnny be able to file cease and desist order at all to Amber and her team? Also, I received my mugs and sweatshirt. Love them. Thanks for all you do. You're welcome. I think he should, and we will see what happens. I think he has the opportunity to seek an injunction about these statements. I think that absolutely is possible. So I saw that I missed somebody's super sticker, and I'm going to go see if I can find it on the back end because we did have, well, we had a lot of people here today. I'm going to try to go find it. I'm going to see if I can find it. Question, do you think the Depp Heard case will be used as precedent for future abuse cases? I mean, at the end of the day, it's a defamation case. So it's a defamation case. I don't know. I think it will absolutely be used as an example of how to and not to do things. I think it'll be used as an example of sometimes when you believe in your case and your client, even though the odds are against you, you take it. The odds are against Johnny Depp in this case. And I think it should show that there are circumstances where celebrities can win defamation cases. Those circumstances are few and far between, but there are. And so I think it will be talked about. So Lilith, I am looking for it. It happens sometimes. So I'm going to try to find them. I'm going to look right now. Thank you all. But I am looking real quick to see if I can find it. Because especially when we have a lot of people in the chat, I try to go to the ones that have questions to make sure we get the questions answered first. And I don't even, Matt Bond, I see yours. Thank you. Lori Peacock said, you've inspired me to create boundaries in my life. You're welcome. Boundaries are good. Boundaries are very good. So Lilith, let me see if I can find this real quick. And all of you are going to just get to watch me look. Sorry. As I try to talk while I'm doing it, but I'm looking. I've been wanting to look at the NFL case. I have not been able to, but I have not had a chance to, but it's been on my list that I'm curious about. So we're curious about Monster Munch. Jennifer, I haven't tried the Monster Munch yet. I've been wanting to do it with the kids on at least camera and then share it with y'all. So I've been wanting to do that. Let's see. I am looking. Unfortunately, I'm not going to see all of these. Call me Al. You didn't miss Britney. Let's see. I'm trying to look for the ones that have question marks in them to see if I can find them. Because if I miss some of them, again, I apologize. Can you watch Johnny Depp's first TikTok? I have not seen it, but I will watch it. I will probably do it and maybe do a TikTok duet with it. So, thank you, Lilith. Have you seen Johnny Depp's TikTok thanking his supporters? I have not. Should we just do it now? Is that the question? Should we just do it now? Can the judge in the Depp Heard case give her opinion on how she would have ruled this case? No. She can talk about having media in the courtroom and stuff like that, but no, she shouldn't. And she won't. It's not proper. Let's go to TikTok. And then I'm done. And then we're done. All right, let me put in my headphone and make sure we can all hear. TikTok, shush. Damn it. I've got to switch. We got to switch over things. I got to put my ears on. Give me 1 second. So I know. It's like I'm one of the band. All right, we're doing that. We're doing that now. Yes, Johnny Depp's TikTok. Yes, it's short. Yes. Okay, we're doing that. And then we're going to say goodbye. Say goodbye the way that we say goodbye from the Dave Matthews Band. These are so great. We love the in-ears. This is it. Last one. We're doing it now. All right, we're doing it now. Let me make sure I have audio and let me go find it. All right, y'all. And then we're saying goodbye and I'm going to go eat. Oh, I got to change the audio over. Let's see. It should be here now. We've changed the audio over. Let me find Johnny Depp's TikTok. I wonder who his social media manager is. 4.9 million followers. When did he start his TikTok? Occasional thespian. That's funny. Where's my TikTok? Hold on, now I'm curious. Oh, y'all, we're at 98,000 followers. I'm like, when the fuck did that happen? You guys, I'm on TikTok. I am on the Tiki TikToks. But we're at 98,000? Damn. All right, sorry. We're going to go look at Johnny Depp's TikTok. Hold on. I got distracted. I am on TikTok sometimes. All right. Let's see. Of course he just created this. All right, let's make this big. Let's put music on. Uh-oh. If this is just music, I might not be able to play the music. Hold on, let me listen. That's music that I cannot play. All right, I'll play it without sound. I should have thought about that. I'll play it without sound. And let's read the caption. All right, let's see. To all of my most treasured, loyal, and unwavering supporters, we've been everywhere together. We have seen everything together. We have walked the same road together. We did the right thing together, all because you cared. And now we will move forward together. You are, as always, my employers. And once again, I am whittled down to no way to say thank you other than just by saying thank you. So thank you. Much love and respect, JD. All right, can't play the music. We'll just watch what happens. Sorry, there's songs. We can't song. Oh, these are clips from outside of court and going to court. And so I bet a number of y'all saw yourself. I'm sure people were able to see themselves, and then moving on and playing guitar with his friends. I mean, I think that's what he loves to do most, isn't it? So, yep. All right, there we go. It was indeed brief. Thank you. In my opinion, I'm an op-ed journalist at the Washington Post. In my opinion, an op-ed, okay, sorry, misopinionated, an op-ed journalist at the Washington Post has now learned not to wake up the lawyers. Saw LawTube all over Twitter this past week and rebutting. I did not go on the Twitter as much. I did not go on the Twitter as much this weekend. Why? Because I went to Dave. A Hurt spokesperson just publicly commented about the TikTok. We're never going to end this live. We're going to be live forever. Where did they comment? Was it on Twitter? Okay, chat, tell me where they commented. Now I want to go look real quick. Because now I want to go look. Damn it. Maybe it's on Instagram. All right, we'll look at Instagram first. We're never done. This is the stream that never ends. And the mods are like, and this is why we stay on topic, because we're never out. Because we will never be done. We will never be done. Twitter, I'll go look at Twitter. I'm going to look at Insta first. I can't believe I'm almost at 100,000 on TikTok. That's bananas to me. Let's see. This was from 5 days ago. Mods, we're done. We're almost done. I promise. I promise. Let's see. I'll go look at what Tug has said. Let's see. When will my next live be? Friday. Though we have a members only live stream Thursday. And let's see. I don't see it on Instagram. Let's go to Twitter. I don't know who the spokesperson is. Let's go see. I know. Where the mods are, I saw the mods in there. I did. I saw the mods in there being like, wrap it up. We're going to wrap it up in just a second. Here's the Brown Rudnick tweet with Camille Vasquez's photo on it. So there's the Brown Rudnick tweet. But let's see if there is a Amber Heard statement. I saw it on People Magazine. Let's see. Amber Heard's sister post statement on the Johnny Depp trial. Cards were stacked against us. No, they weren't. Sorry. The law was on their side. Very much so. All right. I do not see it. Sorry, y'all. I just don't see it. I'm going to see if... Let's see. I just don't see it. Nope. So sorry, y'all. I'll go look for the statement and I will do a short about it or a reel. I just do not see it. I'm sure it's somewhere. People might have it. Squid Game Chicago proved me wrong. I'm not sure what that's referring to because my brain has stopped and it's late in the chat. I saw it on People Mag. Well, let me go to People real quick. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I don't see it. You guys are like, I miss full day streams. I know. I do too. ADHD plus ADHD never ending stream. Amber Heard responds to Johnny Depp's message about moving forward. Women's rights are moving backwards. Okay, just give us a quick second. Top story, 41 minutes ago. All right, let's see. Amber Heard responds to Johnny Depp's message about moving forward. Women's rights are moving backwards. Amber Heard previously reacted to the verdict of Johnny Depp defamation cases, calling it a setback for women speaking out. You already heard my thoughts on that. is responding. Amber Heard is responding after ex Johnny Depp shared a message to his fans on TikTok about moving forward after the verdict. His first upload on the social media site was a montage of recent music touring with Jeff Beck. Caption, we did that. And now we will move forward together. A spokesperson for Heard 36 responds to Depp's message in a statement saying, quote, as Johnny Depp says he's moving forward, women's rights are moving backward. The verdict's message to victims of domestic violence is be afraid to stand up and speak out. Isn't that the message that Amber Heard was trying to send to Johnny Depp by saying, who's going to believe you? Heard, who plans to appeal the verdict, said in a statement after it was revealed last Wednesday, the disappointment I feel. So we heard that. All right. This was from 40 minutes ago. When was the TikTok posted? Every time he does anything, there's going to be a response. That's not what I want. Anytime he does anything, there's going to be a response. It's not going to get left alone, but he's allowed to say, I'm moving forward. He's allowed to say, I'm moving forward. She's allowed to say, I'm moving forward, or I wish I could move forward, but I can't because of the hate I'm receiving online. Please, all of you, stop it. Let's see when this video went up. If I can, which I don't. I don't know. Oh, 4 hours ago. It says 4 hours ago. Right here. So, 4 hours ago. All right. Well, not surprised there's a statement 41 minutes ago. Jessica said she has to have the last word. And I think that's why this will never be done. I know his team has to be like, every time we comment, there's going to be a response. Every time. But he's allowed to say to the people who have supported him this whole time, many didn't, we're moving on. Let's move forward. And that's fair. So with that, y'all, thank you so much for the super chats. Thank you so much for being with me. Thank you so much for being law nerds, for, enjoying the shop, enjoying the content, for being here as we cover more cases than this. Robin, go ahead and tell them who will believe you. This is what it is. Can you look off stream, but check out artists that gave painting to JD in person? I will. I'll go look for it. Thank you, Leanne. Y'all, thank you so much for being here. We have lots of streams to come. We have lots to do. We have lots of cases to cover. I am just, y'all are like, you're at 99.1 on TikTok. Stop it. Are we really? Yeah, we are. Thanks, law nerds. It looks like we're going to hit 100 million on TikTok. You know what blew me away on TikTok? Here is what blew me away. That the LA Times talked about me on TikTok, on their TikTok. I died. So I'm going to go respond to this and share it. TikTok has been a lot of fun. It is clearly not my main platform, but when I do my quick bits, I put them on YouTube on the quick bits channel. I put them on TikTok and I put them on Instagram Reels so that you don't have to feel beholden to one platform. This is the platform that I consider to be my main platform. So thank you all so much. Thank you for your support. This, getting to do this for a living and break down the law is truly an honor and a pleasure. So thank you. And I'm here for it. And let's, I'll see you on Friday. Mods, I will see you on, not mods, mods and members. I will see you on Thursday. And then I will be around the interwebs tomorrow on the other platforms. I'm going to go, respond to some of this stuff. So thank you guys for following me on the TikTok. Cheers, 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 law nerds. Thank you. Okay, I've got to go. Goodbye. Connect with me everywhere. I'm at the Emily D. Baker. If you guys want to join the text, just text Emily.com. If you want to join the channel, lawnerdsunite.com. Happy to have you. Support what we do here on the YouTube.